online. Let's start the meeting at 7:06. I call it to order. And I noticed that there are two regular members absent tonight, Candace and Dave. And there are two alternates present tonight. I invite a motion to seat both of the alternates tonight. Can I have that motion, somebody?
So moved. I move that, oh yeah, I'll second.
Okay, so I'm gonna
Anna made the motion.
to see Tom and Fred and him seconded, so you guys are up.
Should we vote? I know it's a technicality, but
Right.
we need to vote.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry.
before you need to vote.
In a second, but
Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Motion passes. Thanks, Andy.
no problem.
So the first item on the agenda is emergency management under public safety. And we have new spreadsheets. And I assume those are a little different, so let's take a look at the current ones.
All the salaries and
What's that?
all the salaries and everything is in that.
Oh, okay.
So that's the change, the salaries, okay.
We're gonna be paying people this year?
We want them to return.
Interestingly, I took a look at this at home and I didn't have a chance to go through everything. And I kind of did a somersault. Well, gee, that felt a lot. Until I read the note
Can I try? It's not.
that explained it's up a lot because the
I know you did.
the Millstone numbers are moved from capital to this operating budget,
Yeah.
which is an increase of almost $80,000.
Correct.
Well, in the current budget, we had 43 in there.
Right?
So there's the 80. It's going from 43
That's what I'm
to,
saying. It's almost an increase
So
of
it was
almost
in there.
80,000. But with reimbursement, I gather it's a wash. I mean, it's a non-issue.
If he only gets 80, he only spends 80, but he has up to 120 they can approve in 1 year. So that's why we looked at 120, because it doesn't get approved until actually July.
Okay. So with that comment, it looks to me the budget is not
So
very
you're
much.
not connected, it's not reading
so is the whole 120 dependent upon reimbursement
Correct.
as it has been in the past?
120
Yep.
is reimbursed.
it.
Okay.
Any questions or discussions before I
And
ask for a motion?
he-
Yeah. He's there.
He's there.
Who's here? Oh, okay.
He's here.
Greetings
Anyone?
all.
Dave?
Yeah.
Hey, Dave.
Hey.
I'll
how
make
can
a
I-
motion.
Did you want to say anything about the emergency management budget or about the new ops center?
On the emergency management budget, that was, as Anita stated, that was in capital in the past, and she moved it into an operating expense. That 120 stands as the agreement that we have with the Board of Finance for many years. If I get it from Millstone, I'll spend it. If I don't get authorization for it, like they did last year, we did not spend it.
Anybody have any questions?
We're stuck.
Dave, are you splitting your time between emergency management and fire marshal differently this coming year?
No.
Oh,
No. Okay.
is the stipend in there?
Yeah, the
That is
stipend, this,
I think.
it's the salary is in there.
Mhm.
And I'm just looking
I'm just gonna restart.
between the two.
Any other questions?
Mm-mm.
We have a new clerk. Thank you.
Mhm.
Then I request a motion.
So I'll move $159,520 for emergency management.
Second,
Any discussion?
What was the amount?
159,
520.
520.
Exactly as it is.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Any abstentions?
Who
Motion
made the vote?
passes. Say what?
Fred and Andy.
Thank you.
Did you get the mouse to work?
No, I'm looking at it.
The IT committee's working on his,
I'll bring a wired mouse.
not mouse, it's the computer's not connecting to the Wi-Fi, so she's having some issues. So it's not-
Mine does have a problem with it.
Yeah.
It's in here, but in my office, I can send it.
Great,
Interesting.
interesting. Work on
So
that one,
just
Andy.
this.
Show me
Should
where
we
to
pause
unplug it
for a
and plug
minute,
it
or
back
can we
in.
work without it?
My pad
doesn't
work.
We're going. First of all, you're gonna get all of this in a transcription tomorrow. And it's so easy. I will walk it tonight. Well, you're not gonna do it tonight. You're gonna have to do it tomorrow night. And it's
Well,
fine.
I recommend that in the old days, people would take a pad and a pen.
Yeah, sit
And
there
make
for a minute
notes.
while I get this going.
So the, normally.
I'm
we-
making
we-
note of
We may not have very
Motions
much
and seconds,
discussion.
too. Me
It may mostly just be approving the budgets.
Yeah.
If you have any
Keep
questions
the
tomorrow,
discussion
call
till
Anna
then.
or Kim. They always have it down.
Just have to record the votes. That's why you have to do.
Okay, Valley Shore,
Okay, this one you might want to see it pronounced. I spoke to Kelly, and originally it was in January. She said that it's gonna be approximately 6%. I did get another email from her, saying emailed her again on the 4th. And she returned and said they're trying for 4%, but she cannot guarantee that.
well, I recommend that we approve this budget as a maximum and hopefully it comes down.
I'm gonna get you.
I'll make a motion for Valley Shore Communications for the 183,401.
Second.
Any discussion?
No, this is incorrect.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Uh,
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
I got it.
That passes.
I got it.
So that, I mean, that's fine, Anita, you know, hopefully it'll come in less. It is what it
I
is.
got that, yeah.
Ambulance is down 2,000 in the total.
If there's any questions for the EMS, I told the chief when I relayed back to him, so if anything that you guys come up with, let me know, I'll get it back.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they made some reasonable adjustments to fuel
And education.
and education, just based on past spending, it looks like.
My only question would be about the uniforms, if that could come down a little bit. They haven't spent the budget on that for a number of years.
Well,
Yeah.
that's true.
Haven't spent any this year.
So I don't know how to quibble over $500, but it could, I don't know, reduce that a little bit.
Well,
What
they
is this
reduced
that
it
we're talking-
1,000.
The uniforms and emergency management.
No,
Ambulance.
Yeah.
Uniforms.
They reduced it 1,000
Mhm.
from last year's request.
We're going to spend more than 1645.
Do we know if they have significant uniform needs?
They had,
Oh, there's a
last year
lawsuit.
they had a number of new hires.
Yeah.
And then this year they haven't had that. They don't expect that coming
Okay.
forward. So,
Well, but.
But they just haven't spent any money this year.
They haven't spent it.
A lot of that
Because-
too, like, you know, if stuff gets damaged, you get blood, guts and whatnot on call, stuff like that, they're gonna need to replace it along the way, so.
Yeah,
There's always gonna be a little bit left over for, you know, I guess that side of the business.
right, right.
Well, Martha, is there any appetite to reduce it another 500 to 2,000? It's not material, really.
Nah,
Just leave it alone.
I'll make a motion for 183,000.
Who seconded?
I did.
Anna seconded,
Reduce it?
No, just
No.
leaving it the way, at 183.
Which one is
183,000.
Yep.
Any
180.
discussions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. And the abstentions, that passes.
My favorite one. Oh,
Animal
here.
control.
class.
Yeah, she doesn't have, it looks like she increased
No, it's not
part-time, part-time wages some.
Yes.
I mean, it's up 10%. Like, does no one else see this as like a really wild increase over a couple of years?
Well, we have to remember one thing is we had an assistant animal control person. That person is gone. There were some personal reasons.
Sure, they're
and
gone.
They're gone. And then we now have only 2 people that are helping her out part-time.
So the assistant was full-time?
They were more hours than the 2 full part-timers. I don't know what their total, do you know what their total hours are, Anita, the 2 part-timers?
That's our phone right now.
Hold on, she's gone through a major book of.
I think this is also a department we've been trying to figure out the right size for, that there was a lot of stuff happening in the background that we weren't aware of.
Right, and
So-
you've gotten a control where you're seeing the vet bills coming in now. We're not seeing, we have very few people who are making demotions. There's still some donations that go to a vet, but there are more that come in, and Anita gets the checks, and we have a revenue stream too that's coming in.
So there are only 2 increases, material increases. One for the director going up $3,000 or 3.2%. Presumably that's not controversial. And then there's the increase in the part-time hours. So who?
Wait, where are you seeing the 3%? It's going up to 5.3%. Like,
Oh, the change is 3,000. Yeah, that's going up.
also, is
Well,
that higher than everyone else? Is that better? Are we being directed to equal her compensation for some reason? Like,
What the salary committee did was 2.5% increase plus steps. So there must have been steps there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not anything extra that's out of the ordinary
Okay.
for other people. But I think the next line is the real line, the part-time wages, which if you look at what we budgeted 34,000 for this year and 7 months through the year, we've already spent 26.
And you had in a situation where there were 27 animals taken in,
Oh,
and that ate up $1 million.
do we think maybe some of these animals don't need to be taken in by us?
They weren't all taken in by us,
Okay.
but there were a lot that were because she was the receiver. So from the state ACO, she's the receiver. It happened here in this town. The birds went elsewhere, the chinchillas or whoever they were, they went somewhere else. Dogs and cats came, but Lynn is responsible as the receiver. Where do they go? Some had to go to vets, some had to, there were a lot of vet situations. There were a lot of things that were taken. Then she found foster homes for everybody. In the meantime, she's got to feed and everything else.
I just think that like this
Dogs have to
is,
be walked.
it's
every
just, it feels like this just keeps growing and growing and growing and growing. And this is one where I guess this is just what everyone has decided we're going to spend a lot of money on.
I think that you have better, if you would like the Board of Selectmen to look at alternative ways to run an animal control building.
I
then
think maybe
you-
if we just didn't have permanent residents there. And like, I feel like this is a tough budget to talk about, because no one wants animals to
Then here's what I'm
be
gonna say.
harmed. But at the same time, like if it, like the building itself, Lynn has said is not what she needs. So either I think we should take
yet-
this on and do exactly what we should be doing, or send them someplace else.
You'll notice when you get to capital, there are not a lot of capital improvements that need to be made, except for the fence actually is being done this year. The fence is being done. It's already in the budget for this year that Eric will do in the spring. And that's only because the state has changed the laws as to what type of fencing you have to have around a dog enclosure outside. So that's going to be redone. I think if you have any, those types of serious concerns, then we should have Lynn come back and you can redo it with her and have her rethink, or send me the questions that you want answered, and I'd be more than happy to get.
So I think one of the things, Anna's point is you look at the history here and it's doubled in 5 years. Okay. I know other communities have probably seen the same thing and they've combined. Is it Waterford and New London that are
Yeah.
combined? I don't know what East Lyme does. I don't know what Old Saybrook does, but it may be, I don't know what Lyme does. They probably don't have anything. Their dogs probably come to Old Line.
They'll come here.
Yes, I have a question.
But that's like a serious question.
Yeah.
I have a question. What are the drivers? Is the number of animals and how many days they stay? Is that rate?
I would assume so, because it's
So,
just like,
nice
whoa,
to know.
whoa, whoa, whoa. Like in 5 years, if
Change.
we're at 300,000, this is gonna
this
be
is-
like a
This
big
is the
problem.
result. We need to know the drivers.
Yeah.
So how many animals, what's the average days
Yep.
or median number of days?
Yeah.
And then that would drive your cost from year to year. So if we could begin to get.
And I also think what we're actually responsible for.
Yeah, and if we could begin to get that data from whoever can give us that data, then that's going to drive the dollar outcome.
And
two
then you
numbers,
look at
really.
what other communities
Mhm.
are seeing and what they're
Yeah.
paying
Yeah.
per, what's the norm per animal day?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think so too.
But-
Yeah, I mean, I do think that we've had some exceptional circumstances in the last year as far as animals go.
But
I haven't
it's
figured that
doubled.
out, but
It's doubled.
but yeah, no, it has absolutely.
More than.
And I think some of that is, again, driven by us trying to figure out what the actual expenses are, because a few years ago, there was a situation where there were a lot of veterinary expenses that were associated with the animals that the town was not aware of. Because people were making donations to the veterinary clinic to cover the animals
And various veterinary
and
clinics.
various veterinary clinics. So it was hard to understand what the actual cost. So there's a little bit of that that's captured.
right.
Well, I don't think it's little. I think it's material and
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
can
it is.
quantify it.
Right.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is that we have redirected those charitable contributions, appropriately
Exactly.
redirected
So
them
Right.
to
should
come
be.
through the town.
Now you know
And
them.
therefore, the budget dollars are increased because we include
Yeah.
those charitable contributions,
Don't have my
but they're still charitable contributions. So the
What are
town,
you looking?
isn't out of pocket though. There's still money.
But I
coming in.
think, I think
But I think that
Anna's,
explains some of the inflation.
I
of
just
the
like, is
cost.
Lyme sending their animals here? Like, what do you do when you like? I'm just saying, I think Andy's right. Like, look at the other towns. Like, not every small town has a full functioning like animal
Two towns.
shelter.
Waterford and New London, I believe, are the two that are
They,
combined.
they are combined
Waterford
together.
is fine.
Like,
Well,
why are we running an animal shelter?
So let's.
Might be
let's
bigger
pause
towns
for a
than
minute.
us.
Martha and Andy, because I'm on the salary committee and don't remember the answer about the increase in hours. And the note is a little obscure to me.
Okay, increase in hours, Lynn, the salary committee was given her, approved up to 35 hours.
Right.
for
You're talking about Lynn or the part-time? We're talking about the
the
part-time.
part-timers. Now, the part-timers, this is what I'm gonna say, the part-timers
16 hours a week.
per request
6
was
That's for training.
Oh,
She asked not to go to 35 hours.
96.
She refused.
You know, what she said, the wages there because she's working over 30, but she don't want to be in salary, is what she said. So we budgeted her for 35, but she's only gonna work 30, so there'll be money to do that.
That's not kosher in my book. Then she has to do
I'll bring
30.
her down.
She goes to 30 and if she works overtime, then she works overtime and then we'll have a better idea of what she worked over. But you can't just throw in 35 and then say, no, you don't have to work 35. Why budget for it? That's not,
It was the note. So now.
when I talked to her, she said, I don't want 35 hours. So I was like, okay, fine, we'll go to 30.
well, okay, so we can't act on this tonight. 'cause-
Yes, she can. She's gonna switch it. She's gonna,
No, no, you can do the number, but I thought maybe there's a misunderstanding that we have to clarify.
no, she clearly does not want to work 35 hours. She feels that she's working as hard and there are many hours that she doesn't even get accounted for in emergency situations. She just comes and does it.
But she wants to be paid for 30 hours,
She
period,
doesn't want to.
and
be.
we'll change the number. And then with respect to the part-time person,
I'm gonna explain what she asked for.
Well, it says additional hours are needed for the new AC personal training. They need 16 hours per week times 6 weeks
96
is
hours.
96. So we've included that. It's not just in salaries, but they have to do training. So we have to pay them for the training that they have to do. So that's added in
but is this a new person that we're adding?
2 people.
2 new people?
Well, no, that time is just one, I believe.
So is that a one-time cost for this year?
One-time cost,
As long as the person sticks around.
Yeah, exactly.
1 year.
So that we'll reduce the
Deal there
budget
where
for
we're
this
like,
next
you gotta
year.
work for us for 5 years if we're doing this training, because I don't want to pay for the training and then have them be like, actually, I live in Montville and I want to go to their brand new gorgeous facility.
Well, but you know, we don't have employment contracts with people. They're all employees at will, so you can't.
Yeah.
Enforce it.
So a question, we talked about the revenue now coming through the town. How has that changed and how much of that will offset this? Because now we're receiving the revenue, the donations come through the town. And there's nothing under a revenue tab, so.
Yeah, no, there's,
There's
in
financials.
the report.
Okay, yeah, Kim just grabbed one.
Oh.
Because that may be a factor in our
It always helps, yeah.
discussing this, that it softens that blow some.
Yeah.
Just because of rounding.
Animal.
Going back to the one-time, that'll come off next year, provided these people stay.
Right.
Right, so it'll reduce, we can expect to see reduced.
96 hours.
Okay.
And how much of
Couple
the,
grand.
how much of the,
Right now
almost
it's-
10,000 does 96 hours represent?
About $20.
5,000, no, I'm saying right here.
It's a
In this report right here.
720,
There it is.
3,720. We budgeted 6,000.
Oh, okay, you got
the
report, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so it's not,
What's the, what?
we budgeted
We
6,000.
budgeted 6,000.
For revenue?
Yeah, we're at 38% outstanding.
Does
So
it
we've
show
collected.
last year?
We had 200. No, prior year, 350.
No, that don't give you your date, that only
Okay.
gives you the
The last month.
last year of the same month.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay.
The year to date should be, yeah.
It's $3,700.
So it's about
Half.
$6,000
Yeah.
budgeted. It's
Um,
not that significant.
I mean,
No, but it brings the 135,6 down to 129,6.
I mean, I think has made good points about the way this budget has increased in the last 5 years. And that I agree that it would be good to look at what other towns do. But I don't think it's practical to get a change like that in place by
July
June.
1st.
But I think this is one of the opportunities that exists here to make improvements.
Okay,
Well, maybe make improvement,
Maybe.
but the real question is, are we overspending? Are we
Okay.
over caring for our cats and dogs? We don't know the answer to that. I personally am not offended by this, and I'm willing to
okay.
rely on the Board of Selectmen's decision that this makes sense. But if the Board of Finance is now asking the Board of Selectmen prospectively to look into this, I think that's fine. But I personally wouldn't hold up the budget for this year. But
I think looking at options for the town, both internally, as well as partnerships that may be able to be formed. Again, I'm sure every town is looking at their animal control budgets in the same way.
I can get you some of the other towns' budgets to show you what they're spending.
Well, I think,
And,
um,
and I'll find out what towns might be willing
Think-
to do.
Tom's point of cost per pet per day or something that,
Yeah, there's gotta be
You
a
know.
driver for the cost.
Right.
It was veterinary in the
Yeah.
past. Once you figure out those
Food,
drivers,
yeah.
Yeah.
then
and if the number of pets days through the year was up significantly, that means more food, more attention, more
drives
work.
everything.
Yeah, can we get some
Or
metrics from
manpower.
Lynn, so we know what
Yeah.
we're talking
How
about?
many dog calls does she go out on for loose dogs and that kind of
And how
thing?
that cost per day compares to other towns.
Right, because even if you call on a Saturday, so it's someone from animal control has to come out and retrieve the dog and.
And she did tell us, I mean, they're just dumping pets on her. I mean, so.
Yeah, and the
That's
question
everywhere.
is, what do we do if animal control is fully occupied? And what she says is, I never turn an animal away because I find members of the community
Yeah.
Mhm.
who I can place the dog with.
We have a lot of foster people.
But
Yeah.
before you do that, do you have to do the vet bills and do you have to provide like
Food.
food
It's
and
entirely-
personnel?
It's an entirely legitimate question. I just think it's complicated. And
Yes.
fundamentally, it gets to the question, do we have a limited budget? And when that budget is spent, we turn animals away. Can we do that? But this is, Well, what I'm asking immediately is, do we want to approve this budget tonight, or do we want to defer it until we get answers to some of the substantive questions?
I mean, the real increase here, and it's been the creep up, is the part-time wages.
Okay, the part-time wage is one person, and that person is 15 hours a week. The other person, and he's, he only gets paid $20 an hour currently is, he works 2 hours a day, 300, he comes in
Every day.
the dogs every night.
Feeds them and
cleans up.
whatever.
He
Yeah.
cleans the cages. So he does 2 hours a day. And that's all. Then she does have an additional 156 hours for the part-timer, and that's to cover her vacations and her days off. And then the 96 hours for the train.
Yep.
And that's
I mean,
right.
That all sounds reasonable, except as we said, it's doubled in the last 5 years. And maybe we're lucky it's only doubled.
I
And
mean,
that
maybe,
might be
maybe
the
the cost are a lot
reality.
more in past years, we just don't see it.
Well, maybe contributions were more than
Right.
$6,000 in the
Right.
past
So
years.
it may have cost
Yeah.
as much. So
Before she had no contributions on the books when I got here.
that's
Right.
right.
She
That's right.
started getting.
Well, I think too that we can probably get some past history from vets if you want to know what the contributions were over the years, because they certainly had a
It
lot
wasn't
of.
just cash. I mean, it was people dropping off bags of food,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, she's still, I
It
think she's
still
still getting
happens, I'm sure.
donations
Still
like that.
takes-
yeah,
Yeah.
non-cash donations to
Yeah,
help
she does.
soften the blow. And again, I
So,
think
I mean,
back
I'm
to Tom's
under-
point is what the change has been in dog days.
Mhm.
Cats probably aren't as big a factor, but dog days, because they require that
Yeah.
person to come in 2 hours a day to clean their kennels out and feed them and. So,
I think I'd like to see all the animals, does she have?
Yeah.
Non-cats and dogs?
Well, I mean,
And
I
how
think
long
that's-
do
she-
those take?
again, I think it's an entirely reasonable question to ask. I'm under the impression, without empirical data, that she runs the animal shelter efficiently. She's not wasting a lot of money. The
I
question
think
is,
what you
is she
just
taking
said
care of?
is the difference. It's an animal control facility, not an animal shelter.
Well,
And I
we-
think
well-
it's sort of being run as a small animal shelter right now, which if that's what we decide we want, and that's what the Board of
That's exactly
Selectmen
right.
wants, that's a different story. But as animal control, I think that we're sort of getting out of the bounds and we're seeing it in the budget as this has creeped up and up and up. And if it's something we can plan for and we're like, okay, there's going to be a 10% increase every year, because, if one part-time person decides to leave, then that one-time fee is now a regular fee, you know what I mean? And this is a part-time, like somebody who comes in 2 hours a day, every day of the year, like that's kind of like the person who we had opening and closing the gates at the beaches and stuff. Like we relied on that person to do that. And then suddenly they were unable to do that physically anymore. And then we were like, now we got to pay somebody. So it was, I mean, we
paid-
just have
paid
to,
the
I
old
think,
Person too.
being able
the
to
older
think
person.
about these things.
They've always been paid. The gatekeeper.
it's just a matter of who.
Yeah.
Right, but I
Unless
mean,
it's
it's
done.
certainly a legitimate policy question that in the first instance,
Yeah.
the Board of.
We got it.
Selectmen
I got it.
Has to address, do we want to take care of every Lyme resident, dog and cat
I
that
don't
comes
think
to our
that's the
door?
case, but I will find
No,
out.
I mean, I know you will.
Yep.
I just think common sense says we don't want to take care of animals from other towns. But do we, or do we not want to take care of all Lyme animals? And if so, can we do it more
He would
effectively?
just tell you that
Reducing it to 30 hours, it would come in at 126,718.
What would?
126,718,
So, and that's the full-time
30 hours.
30 hours
That's
for
the
her.
reduction, the AC wages would change to 54,558.
Thank you. So we're at 30 hours, we're being asked to approve 126,718. And if we're getting $6,000-ish of contributions, the net is 120, which is not as much. I mean, it's less than last year,
Flat,
but
it's less
right,
than last
not
year.
as big an increase.
Yeah.
So again, I ask, do we want to vote on this tonight or postpone it for more information?
I think we can.
I'd like to.
I will make a
Yeah, good night.
motion for 126,718.
Second that.
Okay. Michelle, 126,718 has been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion?
I just think it'd be useful to get a report from her annually as to the, you know, what she's doing, so we have some basis.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the need is growing, we don't know.
I think,
You know,
I think
COVID, a lot of people got puppies and then
Depends what's
decided,
going on, right?
It's
You
gonna
know.
take a while to get the right.
yeah, it's not
indices, the
gonna
right
help us for this
numbers.
budget.
No, but
Just
just,
prove it and
but for the future, it'll help
Yeah.
us decide.
absolutely, yeah.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Okay. Fire services.
I mean, I'll make a motion for the 279, 258.
Second.
It's a 1.46% increase.
You're so stingy.
I mean,
They do a good job.
they do a great job.
Is there any questions or discussions about the fire folks always give us a 7,400 page explanation of all of their.
I'd like to pay them to come train every other department.
Yep.
Agreed, agreed.
And they're volunteers.
Books for everybody? This is what we do, instead of screen, this is fire.
You generate some revenue.
Well, if there are any questions, it's always good to be here.
Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I'll make sure we get over to
So
you.
they gave us the backup paper copies that they were in. No, they gave us, they had a book too, well, maybe
They
they
had-
did.
Yeah, I've
told
got
them
it
to
right here.
send- We told them to send it electronically instead of having them,
And they
Print it
could,
out.
I thought we would,
We usually get like a one sheet synopsis, then
right.
all of the.
If he wants to send it electronically, we'll print it out. and put it up.
So you want the full thing, not just the one sheeter?
Just for backup.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
thank you.
Are there capital items for the fire department that we
Trucks.
should talk about?
There's nothing new from what we requested last year, but kind of going forward with the plan where the fire apparatus world is, and as you've seen them get grilled on Congress, it's not us, it's them. We're trying. But we came up with a great plan going forward for the next almost 20 odd years, and then whatever you guys can do to make fire trucks cheaper, talk to your friends.
and get them quicker.
Make it quicker.
So what they've got in their capital request is apparatus replacement of 393.5, which is down from this current year. Scott Air Packs, 87,000, but they've applied for a grant
Yeah.
for those. Those have to be replaced. It's 87 in 26, 27, 87 in 27, 28, 87 in 28, 29,
Michelle, you don't,
87,000 a
Michelle, you
year.
don't have to get all this.
It's
It's all on paper. We got it. We don't need to have every, don't go granular.
Obsolescence, like.
No,
Yeah.
go granular.
So
Don't, not in this situation. We're not voting on this.
So
We've
Andy,
worked on it. We've done a really good job. Anita, Eric, and I, and all the departments have put together a capital plan going forward 5, in some cases, 10 years. If the information's out there. It's our best guess estimate, but we're trying to give you a picture of what it's gonna look like.
And all your numbers are. I did, I believe.
Say that one more time?
I thought he did, but, well, we'll talk, I'll talk.
Okay.
so Andy made a motion. Did somebody second it?
Yes, I did.
Palmer seconded it. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? That motion passes.
Thank you.
thank you. Thanks for being here, John.
Now I'm gonna head to fire, so. Be nice.
You too.
The next one is fire protection.
Those are the fire hydrants.
I was gonna ask, I never remember. Okay.
And we have no control over that. They send us a bill and we pay it.
Yeah, nice increase.
Um,
Yeah, it was only a couple hundred, they sent the letter
It's okay, it's 16, it's your notes are right there, 16% increase.
Yeah.
Is there a reason?
It only came to their estimate that they sent is gonna be 4,600 a month.
That's what they think.
The new payment.
Did we add any hydrants? Because I know we have a per hydrant.
The 23 is what people are saying.
That makes sense. It's $200 a month per hydrant. Wow.
Is there any reason why the Board of Selectmen's budget number is $200 less?
Because I have a letter after.
Okay, so it should be 55 for 55 even?
So I took their 46. So really, but I'm just minor.
Okay,
So I just rounded it, it was 45.90 something, they're saying, oh, it's 40.
50s.
So you need a motion for 55,200.
You're making it?
Yeah.
second.
Kim first on a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Passes. Now we gotta pay the fire marshal again. He's still on the phone?
He is.
Still here.
I'll make a motion for 99,545.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Passes.
Thank you all.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
Yep.
And don't worry, spring's coming.
You said the storm was coming?
It's spring.
Storm.
Storm.
Aren't we supposed to get a little snow tonight?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
or
no,
freezing rain
we're
or
more
something.
freezing rain, or rain and
Even
freezing.
worse.
We'll be fine,
Fun.
we'll be fine, it's a coating, it's not a.
Be a delay.
Okay, emergency services retirement is down because the number of applicable personnel are down. Or their election to do this or.
Does that, the fire department, they give me that number.
Mhm.
They base it on the formula that they have.
Yeah.
If you notice, we only spent 124 this year. They were estimating last year.
Well,
It looks like they
124
estimate
as of
high
January
consistently.
31st.
But they haven't finished the year though.
Isn't it?
That's it, it's only the one deposit a year that we do, and then we have to pay
Oh.
quarterly payments of like $2,000, so it'll be another maybe 4,000. And that would be the first one.
I mean, it's an internal formula based on years, and
Years of service.
so it can vary. I mean,
So I'll move 156, 864 for emergency services retirement.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Passes.
Same thing is here, we have we did with two numbers. Because I had like a 10% in there, but we received a letter from them, from the state. And basically, for the note, it says per state 2.5 increase wages, and they give me an estimate, and it says, but does not include increase in salary, fringe benefit, replacement, promotion, transfers, or addition. So I just rounded it up to 170, thinking that just in case someone was, a promotion up, there's that few extra dollars in there.
So what did you round up?
Yeah,
What did you round up to 170? What was the base number?
The base number they're giving me as an estimate was 161.
161 based on the seniority of our
It said
resident state
that
trooper.
was- that was currently, they said now, but in the letter, it does say, does not include increase in salary, fringe benefits, replacement, promotion, transfers.
No, I understand that. I'm just starting at ground level. The 161 applies to our particular resident state trooper based on his seniority, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that.
Well, I think actually,
85%. It's at 85% of salary.
We pay 85%.
85%, yes.
Okay,
They gave us at 85%, and that's the 161, but I guess if you get started July 1st, that wouldn't be included in. So that's why I said we had basically 166 budgeted this year, so I increased it by approximately 2.5% and just let,
well, but the 2.5% implies that it's just for wages, not fringe benefits and so on. And
so we went to 185, 150.
yeah, I was gonna
that
say,
originally, they were saying that approximately a 10% placeholder we put in there.
Okay, so that is, so this is newer knowledge than before we passed. So it's, you can decrease that line of the Board of Selectmen's recommendation and keep it the ones.
well, I just don't want to under budget.
Mhm. I understand.
Yes, the letter just came.
Do you have, Anita, do you have what our current payment is as of 131 though?
No payment, they don't send the bill usually until May or June.
It doesn't look like we've ever come
We've
Too
never come
close.
Okay. Then maybe we don't need.
180 would do it, maybe?
Well, Anna makes a good point. If you look back at the actuals for 24-25, it was 151.
Yeah, that's why the 180 was way too high, but that's why I said, let me put something in there, but not.
You know, we've been 177 way back.
Way back, yeah.
I think we could reduce that a little.
Before Matt.
Well,
Probably,
It's whatever.
probably somebody, the guy that retired.
Take 5,000 off or what?
Well, these words are troubling. When it says doesn't include an increase in salary, well, I don't know about that. Fringe benefits. I mean, fringe benefits, if that includes health insurance, those are big bucks.
Well, that is included in their estimate in that 161.
That's included in the 161?
85%, but I guess it doesn't include if they're getting, if there's an increase in the fringe benefits July
An
1st.
increase in the fringe
Like, we're
benefits.
still waiting on final numbers. They're probably
Right.
estimating.
Okay.
Not.
Nobody's healthcare benefits are going
Gotcha.
down. So
I'd make a motion for the 195.
No, you don't need one. Oh, down at the bottom.
Yeah. I'll second that.
I mean, it's kind of gonna be what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
I mean,
kind of need them.
you know, if we're $5,000 over in terms of, we budget $5,000 too much, comes in 190. Yeah,
They'll come back and we'll fund it.
Yeah.
Any discussion on the 195? All in favor, say aye.
I
mean,
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay.
we're 195 here.
So municipal police, just going down to the bottom line, is going up $111,000. And
That's because the request to add another additional officer.
Right, and the additional officer is approximately $73,000.
I'm sorry, say that again.
The additional officer is officially 72,757.
72,000.
Yes, 72,000.
Okay, so the increase in salaries of 93,000 includes salary increases plus a new officer.
Yes.
Right.
So there's gonna be other things, obviously benefits are gonna impact that. Not just this. And who's asking for is the new resident trooper saying we need it? We need to go from 6 to 7?
We had discussions with I would say that even Ms. Beck is when Matt was here with us before this year as we started. And we found out that Wayne was retiring. And we still haven't replaced Wayne. Interviews should be starting soon. But we haven't replaced Wayne. So we've been down to 4. We've had some people that have gone out. When people are gone, you got to have cover for vacations so this, if you look at what our overtime is now, we'll probably save money by having another officer versus the overtime that we're paying when we have 4 full-time at the present time. Derek will be coming on after he graduates on March 12th.
So he'll be the 5th.
He will be number 5.
Right.
And he's, and then there's Wayne's position, so that we haven't filled. This would be an additional if we can find someone, and there's no guarantee that we can.
So we have since in the recent past, we have not been at 6 full-time.
I know.
So
Yeah.
what makes us think we're going to be able to get to 7? And is there truly a need for 7? I know in the past, in the summer, we've used part-time, which is what
We're
the
not
part-time
using-
line is.
We've not used part-time in a long, long time. The last part-time person we had was Matt Ward.
Okay.
And when he left, we have not replaced any part-time.
Is there a reason we haven't done that?
Yes. It's too difficult to schedule. They come, they go. They'll say they'll do things and then they only want to do special duty things, like they'll be over at the high school for basketball, or if they need somebody over there for a night event, but then they don't want to do a shift. And we need shift coverage because our guys need to go out on vacation. They try not to take vacation in the summer, but they need to go on vacation. We need somebody to cover some shifts. They don't want to do it. You get somebody out on who's sick, then you don't have anybody to do it. You only have one officer on at night from 3:30, 4 o'clock on. You have one officer. If they go over to Troop F, they're gone for 2 hours while they book somebody. And it does happen.
So again,
We'd like.
is it realistic for us to get to 7?
This
Well,
year.
whether or not we can get to it, the question is, should we budget for it?
Right.
But let me ask, what is the actual number of full-time equivalent officers we've had for this year and the 3 prior years?
Well,
Today we have,
We
when
have 4.
Wayne started, we had 17.
Huh?
When
Full-time
Wayne
officers?
started, we had 17 officers.
17.
Not
That was in-
full-time.
Full-time?
Yeah, you talk to him. There's a picture of all of them.
that was in
They can't be
1894.
We haven't had that in 23 years.
Is that really
He said-
true? 17
Yeah,
full-time?
he shows me the picture. He
They
goes,
can't be full-time.
And they were.
They couldn't have been full-time.
The
They have ran more down the sound.
Wild down there. Look it,
But more recently, how many have we had?
you have increased the population of this town. In the summer, you increase it again by twice. You are asking the same 5 officers to do the duty that they do all year round, again in the summer. You do not have the coverage. If you don't want to do it, fine.
Well, but your point is well taken, that we've paid $90,000 to $100,000 in overtime
Right, the trade-off.
for a number
Well,
of
there
years.
should be a
going
reduction in
back.
that.
Yeah, so the trade-off is you maybe net less.
And
Right.
and there's no
That's- I'm just
guarantee.
trying to-
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get a head count.
Yeah.
You have 4 at the present time.
You have 4.
You have
So-
4 plus our residential.
We're the 5th one
Okay.
in the pipeline that's going to,
And
probably come
Derek
on
will
board.
come on and he'll be number 5.
Right.
You'll have 5. Then you'll still, but you would have had 6 because Wayne's position has not been filled. So that would be 6. We're asking if we're interviewing for just 1 right now. That's Wayne's. If we found someone, we could add a 7.
So this budget can afford 7. This budget
This
covers 7.
budget includes 7. Wayne's position plus 1 more. But if you take away the overtime that we're carrying now, that'll pay for the 7th person.
Right. So I guess that's the question that I have down here is if one of the goals of adding a 7th full-time officer is to reduce the overtime, if we're adding the officer in the budget, should we reduce the overtime in the budget? Maybe not by 72,000, just so that it's we can see what happens, but should we reduce it by 30,000?
How do the current officers feel about
Question.
losing out on that overtime?
Bingo.
Like, I just,
That, exactly. That may make the difference between them making $72,000 and scraping by and making $85,000 or $80,000 and that overtime money. I mean, that's a big
Yeah.
deal. I mean, I know they
Or
put not
more,
sure-
I mean, 90 grand time divided
They
by
also-
four
they also-
is 20. Like, that's almost $100,000 they're
Right.
making then. So, which if that keeps them here,
Right.
So question, because Martha said, wouldn't we, Derek, he was gonna keep it in there, to try it out, but why don't we just take away the part-time at 20,000? And make it 0, and then this gives you back 20.
Because we're not gonna
hire part-time.
Part-time.
Well, then if we're
Why
definitely
is it
not
in
gonna
there?
be able to hire a part-time, let's just get rid of it.
You know,
well, are we constantly looking for a part-time person? Like, is that
So
up?
here's what happened. We started this budget with Tim Ryan, who is our interim. He did his best to formulate it out. Derek came in, looked at it, and then I think it was last week, right? He came back and made some other changes. We had to let him do it because
Yeah.
he had not had enough time to do his homework. So he came in last week and sat down with Anita and made some changes. And the changes that you're seeing are those that he made. And we said at our meeting, when we passed it, Board of Selectmen, we said, we understand there's going to be a few tweaks here because some people are just getting their information together. So if the town doesn't feel that they want a 7th, then fine, don't budget it for it and just stick to overtime.
What is our new resident trooper? What does Derek think?
He was all for it, like, see if we can get him, but if we can't, he'll work with what he has. He's working with 4 right now. He's
And how about our
thrilled.
police officers? What do they feel? What they feel is the right number?
I'm sure that he's had conversations with them. I have not been down there. I'm not invited. I am the chief, but I am not invited to those meetings.
You're the police chief.
I know.
It'd be good to know what their opinion is,
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you look at
post-
response to, I mean,
their professionalism.
mhm.
couple of thoughts. Give the analogy. When I used to dispatch 10 UPS drivers, I would plan them an 8.5-hour day or a 9.5 day. So you control the amount of an expected overtime they're gonna get. Because it's actually more productive. At a certain point, it's better to put another person on. It's the same as a police officer in terms of the labor. So I don't think putting on the additional officer, we need it. You put them on. I don't think you want to cut you're gonna recover all that overtime. Then that whoever's got to manage has got the tough job. He's gonna say to those people in the future, you used to make 20 overtime, now you're gonna make 15 or whatever the number is. So that management issue is
Yeah.
tricky.
I mean, I think it's a real issue.
You have to
if-
remember-
if The policemen are gonna be very unhappy,
Right.
but as a labor and employment matter, it seems to me inadvisable to understaff your needs.
Right,
Intending
right.
that you're gonna have overtime. So I'd say we go with this proposal, we cut the overtime number somewhat. We leave some money in there and,
The part-time. You wanna cut-
no, we cut out the part-time entirely
Long time.
and reduce the overtime by some
Yeah.
number.
But some,
If you look at how much we've spent on overtime,
Yeah, we're already-
we've spent exactly almost like we're between our budget and 90,000.
But
Every-
that is with 4
Mhm.
Well, did we,
officers.
but
and we-
previously, did we have more?
No.
So we've
been-
only had
been-
4
we've
for
been
a long
basically at
time.
4 or maybe 5. We haven't been at 6 in years, I don't think.
We had 6 last year when we had Ryan. We had Wayne, we had Ethan, we had George and Ryan, and then Ryan left us and he resigned in July of last year.
And all I'm saying is a really simple arithmetic.
Right.
If in fact we hire a 7th officer,
Right.
overtime should go down.
Here's one of the
If we
things,
aren't able to hire a 7th officer, then that salary line will go down and will subsidize our under budget for the overtime.
here's what I can tell you is once we interview for Wayne's position, we'll have an idea of what the pool's like.
Yeah.
And we may be able to come back and say, we're not, I mean, the hiring police officers is tough.
Oh my
Tough
God.
everywhere.
Yeah.
It's tough everywhere. So
But
if
you
we
need it,
find,
you need to find them.
but if we can't I mean, we might come to you and say, we can't even find somebody to replace Wayne. I mean,
But I think you could easily cut 30 or 40,000 from this budget and still be in a safe space.
All from the
I don't think so.
overtime?
Part-time, no,
Well,
the
part-time's
part-time,
20.
that's from part-time,
Right.
between the part-time and the overtime. If you're leaving that 73,000 in the full-time salary range for a seventh officer. Like at the end of the day, I think we could balance that out.
Anita, Martha, does the private duty that our officers do fall in the overtime here, or is that come into a different line?
Non-profit overtime comes here, and then now you see it on the revenue side, that now we're taking revenue in against it.
Right.
Prior, when I first got here, everything was going into the Fund 7, whether it was nonprofit, even though it was getting charged to us. So the other overtime they do goes to that fund and it wipes out with the payroll.
Okay.
So now, when I was doing it, I was like, I tracked it back, and that's why you see you're being offset with revenue for nonprofit. So the nonprofit is coming out here, but if you look at the revenue report, you'll see that there has been revenue this year more. Last year we started, it was like 7, now it's, I think already dropped to 3 years. So
I mean,
it's
so
offset.
So that's additional revenue to our officers that we're not seeing.
Against
Here.
expenditure.
It's coming into their pockets. So they could be outside of their salary. They could be $30,000 or $40,000.
What's an officer
The
really
additional
make here?
income.
That's the number. What do they really make?
and they are.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
It is coming out.
They definitely are. Like I've hired off-duty
It's just
officers
there's
a
the
lot,
revenue.
and
No,
that's how they make their that's how they make their living.
Yeah.
That's how they make it work. So I think that
Here.
if we try to cut overtime,
Police.
we're gonna be in a hole. I mean, we were in a hole, right? Didn't Matt come to us and he was like, I need a ton more money for overtime, and then we had to go.
We had to go to town
We had to go to
meeting.
town meeting.
Police,
So, I mean,
current year revenue is
Management
7,260.
Not a board of finance issue in a sense.
And I know
He's gonna
Tracy
manage
just
it down.
billed out this month. I got another check for
so I mean, I guess
5,000.
Martha, that's up to
So we're
you. Do
putting about
you
at
want
least
us to
20,000
cut that
back
overtime budget so
towards
that
that
we have a smaller overall budget and then potentially go to town meeting
We don't
later?
have to go to town meeting for being over on a line. We have to go to town meeting for being over on a department. So if you're putting an additional $70,000 into the full-time salary line,
I think though, even if you add that seventh person, you're still gonna get those guys on overtime for exactly what Tom said. Like they're not,
You might get more, nonprofit overtime, and they might be able to do more overtime.
Yeah, let's not.
that's why I think if we're always been at this number, I think that's a good estimation of where overtime is gonna be regardless of what our full-time staff is. If we think that you wanna stick with the full-time staff and try for 7, because that's what we need. Then, and you try to hire for Wayne and before we sign on the dotted line here, you come
So
back and say, all right, timeout. If I can get
So let's
another
also
person,
start- So let's also start to look at some of the things that are coming up. You're gonna have nonstop construction on 156 going forward for starting around May 1st.
Right.
Nonstop. Because they're going all summer. They're not, no hammer laws. They said they're going through for the sewer project. You're gonna need people down there. You're gonna have flaggers and everything else, but you're gonna need somebody paying attention to what's going on. You are gonna have halls of road sidewalks going in another year. You need to, hopefully, you've got other types of things. You've got the bridge at Flanders that at 156 and 4 Mile River Road. That's gonna be the next bridge. I don't know if they're gonna set up the lights that they have now currently because that's a shorter span. But where Armstrong Bridge is now, that's gonna be next. In fact, they already got the 2-week look ahead. That'll be starting. They're gonna start staging their materials there in the next week. So you've got those constructions, you've got state construction projects working on crosswalk renovations. They want to do all the crosswalks here in town, St. Anne's Church. They may be putting another one in near Ferry Road because of the fact that they park on one side of the road and go across to the other to fish. They may be putting in something there. You're going to have things going on. And like I said, my guys will work. My guys are happy to work. They're happy to do it. But if somebody gets hurt on the job or if somebody gets sick, we're down a man and there's no one to bring in. So you can do a closed budget and you can do it, or you can plan for 7 and I can come back to you in May and say, we're not going to need it, and take it out before you go to town meeting. That's,
Yep.
I mean, really and truly, I'll take it out. If Derek and I will chat as we go through, we've got what, how many more months? March, April, May, got 3 more months.
Right, I think another small
Before you go
factor,
to April.
another small factor is to give the Board of Selectmen a chance to hire somebody good if they come along for the future, since it's
Yeah,
difficult to do.
Yeah,
I'm
So just
personally,
have that option.
I'm personally supportive of both of the concept and the deference to the Board of Selectmen's judgment on this for the 7.
And I'm also happy.
But that leaves open the question whether we should reduce the overtime budget. Because I gotta believe it certainly should be true that if we have an additional policeman, we ought to have less overtime.
Or remove the part-time line.
Well, we're
Well,
going
remove the
I
part-time
think
line.
the part-time line is, I think, I agree.
Part-time go.
Get that rid of that. I think though, for all the things that Martha just said, like, there's gonna be a lot of overtime opportunities, and I just think that they're gonna take them. Like, it's how you keep these guys here.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
they
we can
can't live
cut
on their
20
salary.
well, and
They're gonna take part-time other places then.
I'm also pleased to be over budgeted, right?
Right.
To budget for $100,000 overtime and only pay him 50.
So our residents.
It's really the management
bill.
question.
The manager question.
The resident state trooper and should be managing his labor force
Right.
in an efficient way.
And we've had different successes with that.
Right. But yeah.
So that's, again, that's an
He has to
individual.
We should give them a budget number to work against too, right?
You also.
Well, yeah,
yes.
that's where I think
Constrain them a little bit.
And you
we're
also-
perhaps reducing the overtime a little bit,
I think so.
but that somewhat ties the hands if we don't find the 6th or 7th officer. Because
No,
we're really
but-
looking
no,
for
but
2.
then they just go over their overtime
One is-
budget and we
Right.
funded it on the salary line.
Right.
And the person that you replace Wayne with is probably not gonna be a top step, and it's budgeted as such. Because it was budgeted for Wayne's
Right.
position,
Yeah.
so that's not gonna come
That's
in
different.
as whatever. The other thing is you have a road and public safety committee meeting going on upstairs. They're dealing with the excessive speeding. I'm gonna tell you, the other night, there was a car that went down 9th Street. I swear they were going 75 miles an hour. I was like, what? You know?
Sandy.
It was. But, you know, the best part would be is if just people would just follow the directions.
Yeah.
Don't speed.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, well,
Um,
anyway, so we're
so
dealing
do we
with,
reduce the overtime by 10?
we'll take out part-time.
Take out the part-time?
I would take out the part-time.
Okay, so I'll
Yeah.
make a motion for 947, 651.
Where are we? Okay, 9:43. Okay.
651. It's
second that.
$20,000 less than what's in there.
Okay, so we're just taking out the part-time, we're leaving
that?
the
Kim?
overtime,
Yes.
leaving the overtime alone and with the instruction to the manage, to the resident state trooper, not, to fully utilize full-time and to be discreet with overtime.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll come in less than this. So 947, 651 has been made and seconded. Any further discussion?
Who seconded it?
I did.
I said it's a max he's gonna get. Don't come back for us for town meeting.
All in
I guess
favor?
But did that?
my last point of discussion would be the other areas in the budget that impact this
Yeah.
7th officer, like vehicle, benefits, or is that included? Because I know we got a lot of cars down there, but we
That
don't
is you, that's it. You said they're not being used, so now we're gonna
Well,
use them.
but you
Whatever
talk
you
about
want.
roadworthiness of the vehicles that are down there. That.
Yeah.
Will we have to buy 2 cars next year? I'm sure we're budgeted for 1.
Mhm.
Would we have to budget for 2? Maybe we don't budget for it and that's something we go to
Town meeting.
town meeting for. If we,
Well, but
because adding that
I agree.
50,000
that's a fair
to it
question.
as well.
But
It's
the
just
real
talking 200,000.
question is, how many police officers do we need?
Right.
Budgeting for 7 doesn't mean we're gonna get 7.
Right.
If we get 7, we still have to determine whether or not we need 7. And if, in other words, we have to right size the police department.
Yeah, but other costs,
Absolutely.
I will,
Yeah.
I am gonna be completely honest. I will come back to you in a month. Eric and I will continue to have conversations. We will start the interview process and we'll let you know. And if we don't think there's gonna be a chance that we're gonna find the seventh, we'll let you know and you can take it out. Okay?
well,
I
I
will
think,
do that before you
well,
get to,
I think the other thing that would be helpful, if you do think the applicant pool is there, how much more can the overtime budget be reduced?
Okay.
Or how much can the
Yeah,
overtime? we
maybe
didn't
having that,
reduce it.
we didn't,
Yeah.
yeah, have that
But can
discussion.
the overtime budget be reduced if we get to the full complement of 7?
okay?
I know the real pinch point is the summer months. And so I would think the chances of getting to 7 between now and July 1st are pretty slim.
Well, that's the other thing is if there's big trucks going up and down all those streets, how many people are going to be here in the summer?
They'll show up.
Enjoy their
Still go to
beach
the
time
beach.
as much as possible.
I had a couple questions too on these lines, the contracted services PD accreditation. Is that 6,000 just for, it says badge 6, is that like the new person? So then we might
That's
need,
Andretta, and I didn't think we were
badge
going to need
7.
that.
That was-
Anita?
They said that there's additional education that they have to. For Derek, what he said to me, he said that there was additional accreditation, the guys have to keep their accreditation. And they wanted to keep that person, for requirements and. He wants to. See how it works out, is it smooth?
But did you say this is a new state requirement for
They did
accreditation?
it for the accreditation for 3 years, but you have to keep the accreditation up.
Well, then on the budget, we've never paid for it before.
ALL.
Correct.
AALE.
What line?
The,
Andretta's with-
it's a new line item.
No.
For-
I don't know what the accreditation.
oh, I don't care about that, but if, I'm assuming is badge 6 like the 6?
Badge 6, no. That's Andretta Swift. She used to work for the state police. She went off, she developed her own company. We've been using her to help us with this state, the tier 1 through
And
tier.
that's not this line item.
Well, I think what he's saying is that she might be doing some of the continuing education. I have not
Okay.
I have not heard it as Andretta. I have just heard continuing that.
Oh, that's what he said to me.
She-
Okay.
She's already sold her company. She already sold her things. I don't know. I can't keep track of her.
But this is a new line item and it's a new item that
It's
we've
not
never-
really
It's
new.
been there.
It's not new. We've been paying her under contracted services, but not for that particular things. But I don't know why there's no lines because we've been paying her. What have you been
Right,
taking?
and that's what we have her in that line. And that's
It's
the
zeros.
That's,
Okay,
That's what it's
But
called,
look,
the
but
accreditation.
wait, it's this line. We've been paying Andretta out of for something.
Right, prior it was in education. They did
Yeah,
they
it
did
should
a
show.
appropriation transfer and we moved it to education.
Okay, it should have used to be in education, so now it's out of
Now, the
education.
last line's been reduced.
Oh, okay, okay.
You look, this,
Although
I see that,
think
okay.
that should have stayed in because education is retraining.
we have an- we have another line for that.
Huh? I don't think we needed to add a line.
Yeah, I agree with you, because
Train-
that's just confusing.
Training is in education, but it should just
You know,
stay
yeah.
in education. That's what training is.
and creative women last year, that's all.
We didn't create the last year. Last
It's
year,
new.
it's new this year.
No,
Well, the-
Oh, no, it is.
The line is new, but also are the dollars. Like the education budget is going up by, almost $2,000, $1,900. And in addition, the new line items is $6,000.
Created for this current fiscal year.
Yeah, if you go back to 24, 25, the education budget
For the
was
education budget.
22,000 or 30.
Yeah.
I just think we need to.
Yeah,
try to
22,
stick to
20
The definition of the
23,
line. The
24.
line is education, training and comes under education. There's no teacher in the world who would say that. That's what it is, and it should stay there as such. Certification, the certification program is a contracted service out because we hired someone to help us do all the work. Because we only had 4 full-time officers and the state trooper cannot participate in doing the work. And in fact, we had Ward, Katie, myself, and then we could pull the officers in to grab materials for us or their policies and things like that and provide us with information to get the tier 1. Then we upload it all to Andretta. Andretta puts it into the DMS system, and then the state comes and gives us, goes through the DMS program, tells us if we qualify, if they have any questions, we come back to them with more information, and then hopefully we pass with flying colors. I'm just gonna say, from my stance, these programs, they start, the state wanted them.
So we just have to do this 6,000. My question on this was, if we add another officer, is that gonna
No,
do we need to add money in there?
no.
Okay. And then my next one was on LYSB, police LYSB. It looks like the program hasn't been done
Nope, starting.
for quite a while.
Started.
Cop club,
He covered it.
starting back. We are,
So is that dependent on us getting this 7th officer?
no,
Well,
No.
I know he wants to, Steve's gonna start it back.
it's not dependent on a 7th.
Okay.
Right, one of the
Okay.
police
Steve
officers.
Hackett's
is
been
interested.
trying
One of the guys interested in
But-
running it that he has now.
One of the we've gone through a lot of things at LOSB. They lost some of their funding. They lost a person. So Steve really wants to get the cop club up and running again, working through, he does a lot of work with, the hearing board. He really feels it's important for the young people to have this and bring it back. It was a great program years ago.
Yeah.
They'd really like to get it. And Steve has got his certification for that. And he's got his certification for DARE. So he's trying to get more involved with the kids. And it's just, there's only 4 officers, so they have to do, so it's hard for them to go off and do other things.
Just one more, I guess, observation. Going back up to the full-time salary line, recommendation from the Board of Selectmen is $72,000 less than what we just approved.
Right, 'cause I did not there. I don't know
Okay,
that.
all right.
That was fine.
Okay,
It was
I'm
on
just-
that.
so the Board of Selectmen are on board with
They were on board with it.
the
It
7.
wasn't-
Okay, because that kind of back to your
That was,
point. If that's, okay. No problem.
Right, so.
We've already voted for the whole thing.
I don't think we voted. We
No,
voted.
we haven't.
Exactly. We're still in
We haven't
discussion.
voted. It's still the 947, 651. Any further discussion?
Yeah, I was curious about the police ammunition line.
Mhm.
$11,000.
Capital, that was from capital, it's now moved to operations.
Yes,
That's
because
right.
it's not it doesn't depreciate, it just,
So they didn't spend anything last
yeah,
year.
they spent
No,
it,
no, no.
It was in
they-
capital.
In this budget, they spent it
They
in the
just-
capital budget.
they just spent it.
they just spent it. It just came in about 3 weeks ago.
2 years ago. it was
We have a
in
truck
capital.
come in.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
They have to come down here, they have to receive it. It does not come into this building. They came, they received it. And if I remember right, they also sometimes turn in some old ammunition. It has to go back and they get credit for that.
Oh,
Do you have any idea how many rounds that is? That's a lot. It seems like it's a lot of ammo.
I guess that the price has gone up significantly on ammunition over the last 2 or 3 years.
I'm just curious the number. of
We
rounds.
also had to increase that when we decided to do different.
They changed their
Weapons.
weapons.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
long gun,
changed the weapons that we added long guns a few years ago.
but it's not just,
it's a lot of ammo. I don't know.
I think they're day
They
to
use it
day.
for, they go to the ranges, for
Yeah.
certain
It is a lot. I know.
certifications.
Well, but are we assuming that it's 1 year that they spend 11,000 in 1 year?
Yeah,
They have to.
historically,
A couple bucks a round. It's 5,000 rounds. It's a lot of shooting. I
If
don't
we
know.
add 3 more officers, I mean, if we go from 4 to 7.
I know, that's gonna go up.
It's gonna have to go up.
But yeah, but your point is well taken, 5,000 rounds, and I don't know what it is
I'm
per
guessing
round.
$2 a round.
But 5,000 rounds divided by 5 officers is 1,000 rounds each. You think that they're training with 1,000 rounds each? I don't want to question it because we don't know.
It's just something to ask.
They don't use it, they'll keep it for next year, but
Doesn't spoil. Well, I guess it
Well,
does.
it says it does.
Yeah.
They return it.
They turn in old ammo and
Yeah.
get credit for it. So
It may be
Okay.
exactly what they need. I'm just questioning, to get some idea.
we've asked about that line before.
Well, let's put it this way. We can ask them to let us know how many times They shoot their guns.
We can get some metrics
I
from
know.
them.
I know the National Guard in Niantic has a very expensive range, but it's all electronic. Because of the cost of ammunition, I think the range was $7 million. But because of the cost of ammunition and safety was
You
one
know,
reason they went
Four
to.
officers are 11,000. Imagine what the National Guard
Yeah,
training
Yeah. I mean,
ammunition
and-
was. It was
but I don't
7
know-
million.
But I don't know if they let other
People use
people
that.
use it.
Well,
That'd be a good question.
Maybe something to keep an eye on
It
for
might
the
be,
future.
yeah.
That's all.
Might be other options, because that's why they made it all electronic.
Oh, you love this.
I mean, they have
22
their,
long
It's okay.
rifle is about 20 cents.
Group leadership.
children vote, right?
Okay, we're gonna vote.
Okay, I'm gonna try again. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? 947, 651.
I mean, with a list like this, you knew it was gonna be a long.
So that's all.
Yeah.
Public safety. Mr. Hastings, I just want you to know you get a medal.
BJ, can I make a motion for since we have somebody here from Rogers Lake Authority,
Oh, yeah, he's way down
head
there.
up in this group of boards and commissions?
Absolutely.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Rogers Lake Authority. Tell us about.
if you want to come up.
Come tell us about hydrilla and all the good things happening at Rogers
We heard
Lake.
about that.
Oh, we've got hydrilla too. Everybody's got hydrilla.
There was something in the paper about some town getting, I think, $100,000 grant.
Oh, for
Gardner Lake.
the wash.
Yeah.
In Salem.
Boat wash. That's a good idea.
Wash.
Salem.
Probably why we've got the hydrilla.
No,
You gotta staff it.
you gotta staff it. You gotta find a place to put the water. Once you wash it out, you don't want it to roll back into the lake.
I don't think they're staffing it. They're doing it as a, like,
Drive through.
yeah, literally. Yeah, that's what that's why the grant wasn't as much as it could have been. And that was how they agreed upon it. It was some kind of like a wash and like, it's just on the honor system, you're gonna do it. But because fishermen know how bad the hydrilla is, they're actually willing to do it and sort of like knock on the speedboats that maybe aren't necessarily doing it. Be like, you gotta go over there and wash. It's here, just do
Yeah.
it. So,
Or can-
We'd have to
so
build
that
a
was
new
in the- I
landing.
didn't
now.
see that.
It was just in the last week.
Yeah,
yeah, I
Okay.
think they got the grant
The day?
last summer.
I think so.
Okay. thanks. I'll check into that.
And Deep,
But to your
and
point,
Mark, Deep just
where
came,
does the water go?
Yeah, no, it's,
In the lake, with all the weeds.
Deep just came out with the new grants. Mark, Deep came out with new grants. I'll send you the list. Something
So
like,
the increases are for water testing and the
weed control.
weed treatment
Yes.
/ survey.
So on the water quality testing, for the last 4 or 5 years, Yale University has been doing our water testing. And we got a rate of $8,000 because that's what it costs basically to write their report. Because they were doing LWIVE studies, they were doing water testing all along for actually the last 20 years. So we were piggybacking on, costs that they were already incurring. We went out for a scope of work, to get a quote to replace what Yale was currently doing. And it came back at $37,000. So what we, as an alternative, our current invasive plant contractor will also has the ability to test water. And one of our authority members, Joel Hawkins, has a PhD in chemistry. So he can take the results and sort of analyze what the trends are and keep us going till we find another solution or another Yale to, piggyback onto their cost, or their, what work that they'd be doing.
Are there other towns that were benefiting from Yale's
I don't know,
program?
probably.
They're doing?
No, I don't actually. That's a really good question. We just were told that you know, their funding was cut back just as everybody's was. And, they're not going to be doing, the testing here anymore. I don't know about the other towns. I'll ask.
Yeah,
Could be interesting to know.
because if we're not the only ones impacted, they may have come up with other
Yeah,
solutions.
no, that's a good idea. And we're continuing, Yale was also doing, we're sampling the tributaries to the lake for phosphorus and nitrates, because that's the biggest potential pollution. And Yale was doing that testing for us for free, and now we're gonna have to pay for that. So that was another $1,800. So the pond and lake testing is 12,600. Yale was in at 8,500. The tributary sampling is 1,800 and supplies are 200. So the net change is 6,100. The other change is the weed treatment survey. We anticipate our we did not do a herbicide application this year. The permit didn't come through in time, and it got so late in the season, it didn't make sense. But we had the survey done, we didn't apply any herbicide. So using the survey results from 2025, last year the year before in 2024, we applied herbicide to about 4 acres. Now we're going to have to apply it based on this survey to 8 or 9. So we're having a slight increase. So there's 3,470 in additional herbicide application cost. To try to get an early warning system for hydrilla, we're proposing to do eDNA testing. You can test specifically for the DNA of hydrilla. And we found we can collect the water samples. We send them overnight to Maine, and they can analyze them and tell us if we have, a hydrilla and, where we've taken water samples. Right now, our plan would be to take water samples at the boat launch, because that's where that's our biggest risk point, as we were just talking about. And the other area where we have a lot of invasives is up at the north end of the lake. So we'd be testing those 2 places. And there's a number of studies out that show this is an effective way to find that you have hydrilla in your lake long before you actually see it. Mm-hmm. What would happen if we do find it, which isn't in the budget, is we would come back with a proposal to have a much more intensive survey done of the lake. Because to apply for our permit allows us to do spot applications of a herbicide that would be effective against hydrilla. But you can't just say, well, you have to actually show where it is. So we'd have to have somebody come out, survey it, find the plant, and then we can do the application.
Before you get off hydrilla, though, what's the status of the undertaking to wash the boats before they're launched? And can we get somebody from DEP to help monitor it? How do we enforce it? What's the current thinking on that?
We have DEEP is actually ordering an invasive investigator program where you can train online or in a class. And I think our whole authority members and all of our patrol people will take that class, and then there's an on-site. So we're going to get people trained to actually be at the site and know what to identify, know how to interact with the boating. People are putting boats in. We don't have to anticipate where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
we won't have the authority then. It's, but we, a couple of weeks ago, there was a seminar put on by Twin Lakes, which is a lake in set of lakes up in the northwest corner of Connecticut. And they had a hydrilla infestation in a portion of their lake. And they went through their whole process of what they did to get ahead of it. Cost them $340,000. But what the 40,000 of that was, they intensively went and had people attending the boat launches, because that's where they first saw the hydrilla, was near the boat launches. And they were, their people are on their interaction with the boaters is on a volunteer basis. I'd like to inspect your boat. I'd like to see what it is. And they're getting pretty good response from that. And we're going to contact them and try to get much more information on how they went about this and approached it and what materials they used. A step after that would be some sort of enforcement.
Well, I guess what I think I'm hearing is that we're gonna have folks educated to identify hydrilla or evidence of hydrilla on the bottom of the boat, right?
Or on the trailer before they put it in.
Okay. And then they're going to ask nicely if the boat owner would refrain from launching the boat if it's identified.
Yes, I mean, unfortunately, that's the case so far.
Okay, and we don't have an enforcement mechanism.
As yet, no.
And is that changeable? In other words, can the town adopt an ordinance that says you can't launch a boat with hydrilla on it? And then,
Yeah, yes, I think they could.
Yes, we could, but
Yeah.
then we would have to, the attendant would have to notify the police officers to come and enforce it.
well, yeah, the attendant would say, this is a municipal law, an ordinance. You can't launch the boat, you can't contaminate our lake. Sounds reasonable. And if the owner says, I'm big, you're small, you're a kid, I'm not, I'm putting my boat in the water, the attendant says, okay, I'll be notifying the police and we'll have you arrested.
That would be wonderful.
Well, and I mean, I'm kind of not making this up.
No, I know.
It is in fact a serious enough problem, both in terms of our ability to enjoy the lake and our cost of enjoying
Yeah.
the lake.
Yeah.
It seems to me we should try to solve the problem.
I would be happy to work on that.
So we adopt an enforcement mechanism. You're spending, it's a cost issue.
Especially if
and-
folks are gonna spend their own time geting trained to
Yeah.
identify it and learn how to speak to the public. I think that to not then give them the ability to say, well,
Standpoint, a boat owner shouldn't have the right to introduce a contaminant into a body of water.
But I would agree with you. I don't know the process of doing it. It's sort of out of my ballpark.
luckily,
Okay.
Drafting.
she's drafting the ordinance right now.
Is the boat launch in line or old line?
The boat, well, it's a state boat launch. The technically, boy, the line is right there. I don't know.
I think
But
it
the
might be
ordinances
old
for the
line.
lake are joint. It would have to be passed in both.
And I think it jogs.
Yeah, so
The piece.
Lime would have to be, I mean, I know
Plummet.
we
The line
share all
shares
this with Lime.
this, yeah.
But I would
Do
think from
likewise.
because the lake is half and half.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
So it's in both towns' best interests.
yeah.
So
Talk to
it has to be
Christie and see if
something
they
to
would do the
coordinate
same
with Lime and
ordinance.
make sure they have the appetite for, because us doing it by themselves,
So
and they don't have any police officers, so.
I
we'll
do-
Tack a Lime fee onto that.
I do have a question, but do you present this budget to Lime as well? Or do they just ask you what the number is?
I send them, I sent them actually the memo that I drafted that I'm talking
Right.
through now. And the spreadsheets that Anita provides. And I
I know that, but it's
sent
not-
that to them and that's all I've heard so far. I mean, they
They're
never,
easy.
yeah, they never, no,
Should be reporting to
I
them.
haven't had any questions.
You should have done it. It was average.
Any other thoughts or comments you want to make?
The only other thing, which is along with the hydrilla, is that there's a $2,000 item for the launch attendant, and that's really to pay the people that would be, if we do pay people to,
Mhm.
that aren't volunteers for the, you know, to inspect boats before they go in.
Mhm.
Is that the miscellaneous other?
That's the first one.
No, there's a top up on,
Oh, on to, okay, I'm sorry.
no, miscellaneous other, we, as you unfortunately know, we, you know, have had this deal with the state on the operation of the dam.
Oh, that's right.
And
Yep.
we still have a portion of leftover in the capital budget for following through on that permit. We've talked to the state and we've got a schedule for them to respond and for us to be able to finally apply and get the permit. It looks like they're pretty much on board with it. But I left the $2,000 in there in case we needed it for,
Mhm.
you know, if there's any extra costs associated with that.
Mark, would you elaborate and remind me and tell us why is the docking fee gone away? And explain the note, the credit due to Region 18, reimbursement of 4382 for new dock. Remind us what's going on there.
So the 900 we were paying to a gentleman that lives up at the other end of the lake to dock the boat
I mean, on his private
on
property?
his private property.
Okay.
And there are no bathroom facilities there or good places to park.
Mhm.
And it also occurred to me that at some point, he lives mostly in Florida, he's going to retire and sell his place. So I talked with Candace and we were, we basically, we came before you a few months ago and asked for funds to replace the current chase boat dock they have with a new one that's slightly longer that would accommodate their two chase boats and
Mhm.
also our patrol boat. So actually that's bought and it's delivered. It's right in front of the boathouse as we speak, waiting to be put together. So that's why the 900 isn't there anymore because we had a capital.
And isn't Region 18 paying for the new dock or what's the?
They paid for half of it. I think, Anita, you got the money. They got half. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
You did a special appropriation for that.
So we reallocated funds from sort of training and miscellaneous, a portion of that to
Mhm.
cover the cover the cost of the dock.
Yeah,
Yep.
I remember.
Yep.
And still come in within our budget, but
Great.
sort of moved around in light items. Excuse me.
So what do you think the chances are that you'll actually have a program to pay someone to check boats next year? Because this would, I'm assuming, be then for like this summer and fall.
It's for the summer, yeah, and
Yeah.
fall, yeah, for sure. I think they're fairly good. Because what we may do is if it's not the volunteers of the, the authority members, the first people we would do is have some of our guys our patrol people work extra shifts and be at the launch and they'd
So
be
you're gonna have like
trained.
a system set up that could.
I'm working on that
act- Okay.
now,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, I
Mark,
don't,
one of the things that you could consider, you could call Rivercog because they had two interns that were working on hydrilla last year and doing things. And I can put you in touch with the person at Rivercog, but maybe somebody like that who's done studies on it would be interested in doing some part-time work over the summer.
yeah, thank you. I would appreciate that.
I'll move the 57,350 for the Rogers Lake Authority.
Second.
Any further discussion?
Yeah, just Mark, could you quickly just educate me, bring me up to speed on the water testing that you do? Is that required?
No, it's not. It's, well,
Because you got a freebie there for a while, which is nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
we are tangentially apply the herbicides. They like that the deep likes that we do water testing to make sure that the water quality is good. We do the water testing to try to stay ahead of any potential risks of algae blooms or other problems with the lake. And just to make sure that the quality of the water and the levels of chemicals in it has a big impact on the ecology of the lake overall.
I mean, it's important information. Just make sure you need to do it at the same frequency you've been doing it at.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think it would be if we started to see trends, very negative trends in the water quality, we'd have to start setting up programs to figure out why, what's the source, and try to get ahead of any potential adverse effects. It's sort of an early warning method to know that the lake's remaining healthy.
Any other questions, discussion? And all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Any abstentions? Motion passes.
Who seconded that?
I did.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
For
Mark.
bringing me up on the agenda.
Is it full-time job for you?
It seems like it at times, yes. My wife says it keeps me out of trouble. So have a good night.
Also,
Okay, let's go back up to harbor management, start at the beginning of this spreadsheet. So the harbor master salary went up from 2,000 to 5,000. And contracted services that we share with Essex.
Previously, we used to put it in the 5,000 for the hydrographic, we put it in capital. And it's capital, so they asked if we want to put it in contracted services, but they also added the second hydrographic for the thing this year.
And,
And who's the they?
Harbor management.
but when it says share with Essex, it's confusing you because that's the patrol boat. The pump out boat.
Pump
Sorry,
out boat.
the pump out boat. So that's included in that 17.5.
Mm-hmm.
So basically Essex sends us out and we got a grant this year. So it did go down a little for pump out boat from last year.
But
the hydrographic survey is not shared with Essex.
No,
No.
none of that is.
and why are we doing that?
We have 2 grants from the Port Authority. One is for the town dock. So we have to do a hydrographic survey for the area so that we can get a permit for the new dock design. You have to do that first. And the other one would be the 4 Mile River, which they also have a small grant for that, but they would have to have a survey there because they want to do some dredging there. We've had a conversation with Port Authority to do dredging in conjunction and work with Rocky Neck, because Rocky Neck every year brings in sand. Their sand is going around the corner and coming in the 4 Mile River.
Mhm.
So we thought, why don't you take your sand back and then you wouldn't have to buy sand and truck it in and we wouldn't have to, and we can dredge. So there's some discussions that one of the things is they want to know that the sand that they're taking out is really their sand.
Yeah.
With the sand from them. They don't want to take anything that has any problems with it. So I don't know if that hydrographic survey will also be used to help them determine that, but they will be testing as well from the state to determine if the sand is good for them to take. but that would save us some cash.
And so there's a note here that says the Board of Selectmen is questioning the second hydrographic survey. Has that question now been answered?
I don't know if he got his answers, but I think he would have, there was a conversation online with Terry and Mike the day of the snowstorm that we met. Is that, you're taking it from there or from,
Just what I remember saying, he had a question on that second survey.
I don't think we were questioning, we passed it as is. Jim may have had a question, but if you remember that, we had our meeting online during the snowstorm, so.
It's tough.
If we were trying to keep track of everything as possible, as well as possible.
It is, do we regularly like just have to dredge 4 Mile River? Like, is that our town deal that we have to do that?
Well, there's problems with the marinas that on the 4 Mile. And getting boats out, you really have to time it correctly. I'm not a boater. I mean, I boat, but I'm not in charge of it, so. I don't know, but you do need to time it correctly, or you can get stuck.
And is the town paying for the dredging?
We haven't gotten to that point yet. We haven't,
But have we in the past?
I believe we have dredged once before, but it was under a grant.
We got grants for
Well, that's what I was gonna say.
Blackwall and
It just
4 Mile River.
seems-
Yep.
Right. It would
And there was
seem-
leftover money that let us do something else.
There was supposed to be something else,
Right.
and they
There
never,
was leftover money,
Oh, they never did it?
but dredging is very
It wasn't
expensive and I would
accepted.
question whether we should be dredging just for the benefit of some private citizens.
Well, it's economic development too.
it's also two businesses.
The other point that was made was they opened up some dumping grounds closer to Old Lyme,
So it was less money than they,
which would cost less than it did before because they're not gonna have to take the,
stuff is far away.
If-
yeah,
if
I mean,
it's paid
there's no
for by
dredging in this
a
budget,
grant,
but
If it's paid for by a grant, I have no
Right.
question.
What was the reason for the 150% increase in the salary?
I was on that call. He is working two parts of the harbor master's responsibilities. He's working at least 100 hours.
Patrolling.
Putting buoys, the moorings, and then on top of that, patrolling. So it really, I think you were on the call, BJ. I think it
Yeah.
was more calculated to probably be about 200 hours of work. He's really
I
only
don't-
charging us.
Yeah.
I think he
don't
supplies his own
remember-
boat too.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
remember
it's
the
his boat.
precise
It is.
numbers.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that
Yeah.
much money. It's
Right.
just a
No, no,
large
no, but
percentage
when-
We're
increase.
getting more, we're
We had concerns we were underpaying him last year.
Yeah.
big time.
Yeah.
That goes
Yeah.
above and beyond what he's
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
actually contracted to do. Because he's been a boater all his life,
Is he Seato?
Yes.
towboat.
Towboat, one of those. So and while he's doing that, kind of hanging out, he's doing Old Lyme stuff.
He was the captain of the Fisher's Island Ferry for many years.
Really?
Yeah.
So
And
it's a
he
good
loves-
value.
He loves
It
being
seems
out on
like
the sea.
He's a good guy.
So that's why we want to keep him there. And then he's really done. I mean, I can remember doing buoy
So you'll see
years
that
ago when
the
he's not good.
harbor master permitting of $10,000 in this year's budget is zero because it's being paid from the fund that the commission maintains from its permit income.
Oh, yeah, because we had a lot of questions about that last year, about where that was, what was happening with all that.
Yeah, and the clarification is that the use of the funds is prescribed by statute.
Okay.
And so it can't be used for anything, but it can be used for this.
Oh, well, there you go.
So-
Done.
I'll make a motion for the 33,924, not to stop discussion, certainly.
Okay, I'll second. It's a small thing, the last line. We talked about the maybe getting gravel from Ed.
Right.
Yeah, we haven't talked to Ed about that.
Yeah.
As of yet.
It's been a few weeks. Couple weeks.
We've been so excited that we actually had salt, but we haven't been talking about
As
gravel.
opposed to-
Sorry, we're not on the spring stuff yet. We're still,
So that's still.
That's right. That was,
I can check with him. Yeah,
'Cause they
did
were-
somebody second that? That's Andy, you
No,
read.
not yet. Andy made it.
No, Fred seconded.
Fred seconded.
And then asked a question. You can't do both.
Did
Any,
you second?
any
Yes, he
discussion?
did.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And the opposed say nay. Any abstentions? 33,924, Michelle.
Affordable housing.
Affordable Housing Commission.
$1,300 increase.
yeah, I haven't looked at the back of this yet because I just got my book tonight because I wasn't here last week. And while these increases are small, I'm concerned with when we look at the percentages. That, yeah, $1,300 increase, but it's 8.97%. Yeah, harbor management was 18, almost 19%. I mean, so these are small numbers. Police department or municipal police was real number. Again, I haven't flipped.
The reason they're doing this is because we have to have under the new affordable housing for the state, we have to have a plan. They're gonna need help, contracted services to put that together.
And I'm not disputing this number at all. I'm just making a point about
I understand.
percentages. So,
So who did they contract for that? Who are they talking about?
Well, there's gonna be, we still have the choice to opt in with Rivercog to do work with the plan there. Or you can choose to opt out and do your own. So they haven't decided. They just got 2 new chairs. And they just met with me to review the funding that they had. They're trying to get this McCulloch property off the ground. That's been slowed down over since Michael left. So they're trying to do that and work on this new housing plan. It seems, Fred, every week there's a new addition or a deletion from something that we're getting from the state,
Oh,
So-
regarding that bill?
the bill.
Yeah,
And
you know,
more
too.
information, ding, you can do this, you can do that. So they need to work through it, but Jen Miller and Fred Fenton had put this budget together before they left, knowing what they knew. So that's what they assumed they would need to work through contracted services, to work with somebody.
Just curious what kind of person you contract for this kind of advice. Who do you turn to?
Well, they've done some of the
City
legwork.
planner.
We don't have it. It would probably be our town engineers would be pulled in to do some type of help them. They'll have to certainly rely on legal as well. But
Do you think it would? It seems like, they're volunteers, so I'm not expecting them to be experts in this sort of thing. Whereas is Rivercog sort of banding together to try to figure this out? And would that be maybe a better path for?
it's not, it's more like, I think that what happens is that each town has to look at the plan
Yeah.
that Rivercog comes up
Okay.
to and sees how it's gonna impact them. And they're just grappling with all this too, so we're all pulling in together. And there's a lot of meetings going on. And how do we get this together? I just gave Eric Knapp the list of dates that they're supposed to hit marks on for certain things, just so that he knows through land use, what types of things. Shared that with Sheila and Sean last week, just get them up to speed. So they're just coming up to speed. I think that some of the things that I've heard is that it could be overreaching. Rivercogs could be a little more overreaching. Smaller towns may need to pull back a little, I don't know who's gonna go in, who's gonna be involved. We cover Middletown, Portland, are all in Rivercog. Those are different environments than we are. They can put up an apartment complex. We cannot. So
So
And
I'll move 15,800 for affordable housing.
Second. Oops, go ahead.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Passes. Economic development.
They can't.
Is this for redoing the town website? Under
It's gotta be
contracted
just theirs.
services?
No, Explore Old Lyme
Okay.
is theirs. Part-time they can't use. I don't know why it says process intern, because we don't have a process intern. We have a policy intern. That policy intern will not be here. That was to do some legwork getting up to June when our policy intern leaves. That if they need something, but they can't use them next year. So they're looking for a paid position, which has not been I mean, 416 hours. And we basically said that we understand it. But it's up to the board of finance. We left it up to you.
Let's flesh that out a little bit. At 416 hours, at how much an hour?
Nita doesn't have it in on this sheet.
No, we don't have any numbers here.
They didn't give any, what they would want to pay, a minimum wage.
Well, let's say 20
$16.
$20 an hour would be $8,300
Mhm.
ish.
But they're asking for 416 hours. It doesn't necessarily need to be 416. That was their request.
So does the Board of Selectmen, I mean, you guys agreed with 7,000?
No, we questioned the position, but we decided to leave it to the Board of Finance. It's in the red over on the underneath account name. You'll notice the note. We understand but it's timing. You have to, I mean, remember, they're all volunteers and most of the people on affordable housing are still employed.
So it seems one way to look at this is the return on investment. For them.
Well, that's.
I mean, if they can bring in some businesses,
No, that's exactly right.
Brand
Right, the
list.
Economic Development Commission's
then it would pay for itself.
mission.
If it's mission. but-
So
And they just,
what's their chance of success?
Right, if you don't.
And so maybe giving, like, I mean, Jeff Hartman and Joe Cannon are pretty serious guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think it'd be wise to give them some resources to give them a shot at this.
and they
If it-
just,
If it, if it's not working in a couple of years, then it can change, right?
they just redid their entire EDC strategic plan. Jeff ran a tight ship and he and Joe put it all together. They've got a new strategic plan going. And I have to tell you that the positive news is the amount of businesses that all of a sudden are interested in No Lyme. We have a lot of activity. We have somebody who just bought the pizza place down by Teddy's, Smithson, where the old Smithson Healthcare is. There's a lot of activity for new permitting going into that building. That's going in. We've had a lot of interest. The new owners for the Big Y Plaza, Charter Realty, that does the property management, ton of interest, and people are interested in going in with them. So I think that those are all positive signs, and EDC also wants to, maintain the businesses that are here and support them. I will say that we are part of the Greater Saybrook Chamber. I get a little bothered by the fact that all their mailings and their stuff comes out and it always says, this is happening in Saybrook, this is happening. And I literally called her one day and said, excuse me, but can Old Lyme participate in that? And she said, yes. And I said, well, you don't even mention the fact that we're in this. So I don't know where we are with that.
Well, Jeff has an amazing track record experience, right?
Yeah, he's
He was CFO,
a couple of
CEO.
businesses.
Well, Mohegan's son. So,
No, I agree with Fred. It's worth, 8,000 is real money, but it's not gonna bust the bank. And it's worth the investment and see if we get a return. If we don't, do
Yeah,
well.
and they have some particular things they want that person to do. whatever that job description is.
Right.
Assuming these guys are knowledgeable, then,
I would think they could manage the person. very-
yeah,
very
we could
effectively,
do the
especially
things they
as-
want, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We got the
It's a
idea.
1 day a
We
week.
got the idea from waste and recycling because.
So it's about 40 hours, about 10 weeks of work for somebody, or spread over a lot. over
Yeah.
a year.
Quarter time.
Or to say, one day times 50 weeks, 8 hours times 50.
Yeah, whatever it is, yeah.
So that would be 15,000.
Hmm.
That would be, increase that budget line by 8.
I'm increasing it by 8,300, no?
Okay.
8320 is what,
$20
yeah,
$20 an hour.
15,320 is what I.
What was their,
Where do you get?
what was their original request? I mean, they requested the 416.
They
Martha, they-
requested, they requested 7, but we left the salary line blank.
They were,
So they
They
didn't put a
requested
dollar, they
7
just said the
total.
hours, they just
Without
didn't
the salary line.
put $1 per hour on it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Is 20 enough to get the kind of person they want?
Well, that's-
Yeah,
and maybe it's 40, but they only work 200 hours,
Right,
you know?
right.
yeah, I think if you give them this and then they can come back and say like, this is working out and we would like to go to the town and ask for more money because this is the great things that this person's done. Like, I do
Yeah.
think there's a benefit to giving them a chance to do this because this is something that people complain about all the time. Businesses are
tough-
leaving
it's
old.
It's tough.
Appropriating 10,000.
What?
10,000.
10,000.
The salary
Gives them,
line.
gives them the resources they need to hire somebody. That's good.
Do you want to go up, Fred?
Somebody make a
So it'd be
motion. Fred.
17,000.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
I'll move 17,000 for economic development.
Right,
So you're gonna put 10,000 on one?
yes.
10,000 in the, yeah.
I'll second that.
The seconds, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
I,
Any opposed, say nay. Motion passes.
Aside of that, it'd be interesting to talk to the new owners of Big Y Plaza and say, why did you come here?
Yeah.
Oh, I've had multiple
Well,
conversations.
That's,
And so
I mean,
is
that's the
Jeff.
kind of information that would be helpful.
Right. To
They
them.
made a big investment in Old Lyme. What do they know? I know they're in Guilford and they're in other places.
They did-
Yeah, Walgreens is going out, but
Medicine Shop's coming. in.
Shop is coming in and
Right.
a lot of opportunity.
They have 2 other,
they didn't buy it to
Right.
leave it the way it
They
is.
must have a sense.
Yeah.
he sends me little tidbits, but I can't
But I
make
mean,
anything
that's-
public yet. But
And Joe's my neighbor. I'll keep on him.
Ethics has come
Yeah.
down $10.
I'll make a motion for
Let's take it.
2930.
Yeah,
Yeah.
second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? 2930. Water Pollution Control Authority.
Okay,
Oh, Jesus.
okay, I just had my meeting. Jim, John and I just had a joint meeting. I had to leave 7 to come down here, so I don't know what the end results were, but basically we tried to put them. New board, we lost a few members, that did not return. We have new members. We reminded them that they are the town of Old Lyme Water Pollution Control Authority. They're not just Soundview. That they have other odd duties to take care of, such as pump outs and ordinances and things like that, that they have to attend to. Their pump out ordinance is outdated, needs to be redone. So we sort of put them on that. Reviewed the ordinances with them that they're on there. There was an ordinance rewrite that was attempted in 2020. It never went through legal, went through everything else, never came to the town to be reviewed. We asked them to please go back and look at it again. We are not out of the woods with Deep. We know that Deep will be coming in this February to talk to me. So what are our possible plans and our paths forward? So Jim, John, and I all put out what we felt needed to be done. What Deep's gonna say we can do of that, I don't know. We still have a $9.5 million referendum that was approved for spending. There's a CSA that was signed in 2020 by Jim. that is still in effect according to, although we've tried to rework it several times because it does not refer to the clean water funding correctly. So anyway, and there's a lot going on. Andrea and I met today because Andrea is the treasurer for the WPCA. She's concerned that perhaps she thinks legal might have to be increased even further. Board of Selectmen brought it down to 45. They wanted to raise it up initially to 68.
So where's the Board of Selectmen today?
Well, I see this was all 210, so I think Andrea went upstairs today and talked to Anita. So she changed numbers and we did not see these because we voted on this before her visit with Anita today.
So she's at 68,000?
Yes, she went up to 68.
What is she?
And I will tell you that they have a bill that they have to pay today that's 52,000 from Mike Botello, who's their bonding attorney, because over the years, they never paid him on a regular basis because he was going to work his fee into the bond, because that's what they usually do. But when there was no bond for the next 11 million, he had to bill. And I was on a phone call conversation with him at one point, who was Steve Tsunami, and Steve goes, so what's your bill, like 20,000? And he goes, no, I'm like at 43. And this was a number of months back. We just got the bill, it was 52. I mean,
We have to go to town meeting to fund that.
No, they-
There's 45 in the
5 in
budget,
it.
so it's 7.
and then
this
they
year.
have a couple of smaller bills from Sussman and Shapiro that they have to do.
And there might be
But
other
they're
stuff.
probably gonna go over
Mhm.
between now and June.
Well, they're
But-
already over the legal budget then.
Yes, they're already over the legal
Yeah,
budget.
but
That's why she felt that going forward, there's gonna be other things to look at, but
So, well, that's right. So the 68,000, did she?
this is she had it with Anita, you'll have to talk.
But did she enumerate, what is the 68,000 going to pay for? Did she indicate what legal services does she intend to buy for the 68,000?
She mentioned that next year because we don't know what's gonna happen with the state. That legal expenses are gonna occur, but she just knows that she believes it's.
So theoretically, it could be a bond issue for 52,000. It could be negotiating with the beach associations to finally get the contract.
Cost sharing agreement.
I mean, talking about messy stuff like this and legal fees. It can go through the roof.
Right. Plus, if you're
But what is the status? Is the status that the beach associations, other than the town?
They're going forward at this
They're gonna
point.
go forward.
Right, and
And
then,
so Soundview was gonna be left fighting with the DEP. And I mean, I don't, just as I sit here, it seems to me if there's a main going through 156 and the infrastructure is all there to process waste, that the most effective solution for Soundview would be to join in.
well, you had a referendum and
Yeah,
that's a town
73%
vote.
of the people who
A
voted
Soundview
said
vote.
no.
said, no, that's.
Yeah.
This is.
So are you gonna tell me the democratic process, we're just gonna erase that?
Well, we can't issue bonds without town approval. I'm
No,
just
we have to go-
saying that.
We're going to have to, first of all, we
Right.
have to go back out to bid, because our bids have expired. We will have to go back out to bid for our common infrastructure. We will then need,
Well, but the question before us is legal fees, and I'm convinced that 68,000 is not a reasonable number faced with the mess that we have to wend our way through. Right?
but we can't guess at what that's going to be.
No.
I mean, I like the selectmen's budget better, but
I do too.
I think at this point, we probably have no choice but to,
If we get away with 68,000
We're
bucks in
lucky.
legal fees, I'll be happy.
They still have they do have an ARPA fund that was originally 150,000, fund 157,000 for the force main, that they can contribute. We have not that has not all been used. That was for the design and implementation of the force main. And that hasn't been used, but that's under ARPA funding and that has to be used by December 31st of 2026.
That can be applied to legal fees.
You know,
It's only for construction of the force main and design.
I just have a question. How come most of the actuals for this year, we don't have anything? Did they not spend any of this money?
Well, they
Or
have,
is it just not in here?
Right.
Like postage, for instance, like they had almost $10,000 for postage, but was that for a particular?
Mailing.
they did do a large mailing. They did the pump out cards again. They did a huge large mailing. I don't know where.
yeah, there's nothing there.
There's nothing there.
Most of it's empty.
The advertising budget, like my point was if they hadn't spent it, I mean, these are all gonna end up as carryovers and would cover almost all of the rest of their budget unless they've spent it, in which case,
Well, and that, I think at the end of the year, you have to decide that it really and truly, if they did not spend at the end of the year, they aren't carryovers. Because
Well,
they're
and-
meant
Yeah.
to be a carryover.
Right.
And our practice has become that for carryovers, they need to come with us with a specific justification for carrying it
right,
over.
but that's what I'm saying, like if they're gonna ask for it,
You can wipe out the legal. There's not gonna be a dime
Right,
left in that
okay.
line. As
Yeah.
far as, if I look at this, like, I do not understand. Erica should have been on the water pollution clerk pump out.
yeah,
She should have had some of her salary taken from that because she's worked on.
We believe that they charged to the wrong account.
Well-
They
So-
they have the wrong account on their time sheet, they're charging the approach line.
Yep, okay. Office supplies. I don't think they need $600.
They've never, ever spent it.
Used it, so I think you could reduce that to, I mean, first of all, these people come in and they need paper, we just,
Yeah.
give it to them. I mean, we're paying for it out of the town, we've got extras all the
Why
time.
would we need
Post-it notes, what do you want?
extra? Or just charge it, like buy some paper,
So
keep it here.
you wanna strike the 600?
I think you could go down to, let's do 100, take 500 out. You've got, she went down on postage. And I don't know why, because I just said to them tonight,
So if you-
every year you have every year you have pump out cards that have to go out. They did, I will say this, and again, where's the printing of the postage cards? That was done. I saw the order come in. I don't know.
Didn't sign.
I don't know, but there's another. Their fees are not, it's not calculated correctly. on the
Should we
fixed
not
system.
vote on this until you have a chance to?
Well, I'd like to know where
Yeah.
these,
Well, we're not gonna come up with those answers at this table.
no,
That's what I mean, so that's why I'm like,
And-
should we
and
just
I would-
not?
The other line I would look at is miscellaneous, which is $5,000,
Mhm.
and, they've never spent $1,000 on that line.
Yeah,
I mean, a miscellaneous line for $5,000, I don't like anyway. You know,
That was for Andrew.
Yeah, but
Yeah, well, we
still,
went-
the
we went
question
down
is
to
why?
700.
Yeah.
or 1,000 or something like that.
So now
you
it's
know.
not Anita asking, it's the Board of Finance asking why.
right, so let's.
I wish I'd been called upstairs because I had an 2 hour, an hour and a half, 2 hour meeting with her. And then she left and I thought she was just going home.
We take the
But she
five,
decided
so
to Go upstairs, but
That was just
that wasn't her call. This
revisiting.
budget, these numbers that she's giving her is just her. They did not vote on this from their board. There has to be background.
Mr. Chairman, can we push this off to the next meeting, which
Sure,
I think is in 2 weeks? 'Cause I don't think we have a meeting next week, right, Michelle?
No,
So
school vacation.
So that gives-
2 weeks.
time for,
I'll get more homework done.
Okay.
Do we need to vote on that or can we just say?
the next one's gonna be tough.
Just moving it. Like, maybe you should say we're moving it to the next week. Maybe
Yeah,
it should
just
be
Put
in.
on an agenda for
A
next
motion
meeting.
to move it to the next meeting?
We moved a couple of things, 2, 3 things from last week's meeting that don't appear here. So somebody like Michelle has to remember what it is that we didn't vote on and bring them up at a future meeting.
It's me, because
You
I'm
got it.
doing homework. I just haven't gotten one back.
Okay.
but I've talked to two others.
So let's,
Let's
is
do us.
anybody here from the Board of Finance that can justify these expenses?
No.
It's outrageous.
It's ridiculous.
It's
We
outrageous.
went up $1,400.
I mean, what are we spending money on?
Basically, it's related to the town report
Right.
is where the increases are,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, it's the
You know-
annual, it's the advertisement. It's the printing. And,
Let's see, you're
we
right.
just put an estimate in there of like 5 p.m.
100 books. Is that what it is?
What are the contracted services?
Isn't that printing?
Is that the audit?
No.
That's,
is
isn't
that?
that the design of the town report?
Is that,
No,
oh, that's
that is,
Michaela.
Contracted printing is.
That's
a-
Michaela. It's Michaela.
Yeah, that's
Sorry, I
design of
just-
the
I
town,
know,
that's
it
town
just
report
throws
related.
me. Cause it really should be. Well, I guess it's contracted because she's doesn't.
We
participate.
had
Okay.
talked before the budget about dealing with what advertising in a newspaper means.
Mm.
Did you ever get any clarification on that?
Well, for this, your type of meeting for the annual report and also your other one for the budget. I think you have to be pretty specific. And it only runs one day. It's not like you run it over, and I've changed all the rules so you don't have to put it in all those other papers, November through April. You can just put it at request to see if they'll put it in Limelight. We request. If they don't put it in, they don't put it in, but we do put it in the day. We have to do it in one, at least one newspaper under the Connecticut General
And we
Statute.
also put the budget. And then we reduced it, we made the budget a lot smaller the way they put it in.
Okay,
And those rates have gone up significantly
So
because that's the only place that they're getting revenue.
so much. It's ridiculous. It's so much.
Okay, anybody want to move the 16,395?
Isn't that a conflict? I'll make the motion for 16,395.
Second.
Fred seconds, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
All right,
Any opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Passes.
I'll follow that up with a motion for 610 for flood and erosion.
Second.
It's great, and they're going down $20. Okay, that's Andy and first, Kim seconds. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Hi.
Any opposed, say nay. Any abstention? Historic district.
I'll make a motion for 10,158.
Second that.
Yeah, well, that's flat from this current year.
Down.
It's down 136.
Yeah, Fred seconds. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Passed.
I'll make a motion for tree commission for the 14,625.
I'll second.
Can I just say that they wanted to take the tree warden out of their budget and put it in my budget, and I said, no.
Difference
The
to
tree
make.
warden belongs in the tree commission, and I said, I don't know why because we'd like our budget to go down more.
We didn't want the responsibility of hiring. them.
That's so, and they
Just don't do anything next year. It'll go down, right?
they got confused because Anita asked for,
That's a false
she just
accusation.
asked, you need to send me approval to send his stipend check out. And I don't know what else you put in it, but Joanne alluded to me. Like she asked if we're happy with him and she goes, I don't want to start evaluating people. I'm just a volunteer. I said, you're not I said, all you gotta do is, Tom's doing great. Send him a stipend. That's all you gotta do. I said, you don't have to evaluate. So she goes, it should be under.
We just wanted to say, is the person still employed? Are they still working?
Yeah.
But she didn't, but she,
We don't know. I mean, they could be appointed, but it doesn't mean they quit.
Anita, I've talked to him almost every other week.
No, I know, but when we put, that.
I make a motion for Park and Rec Commission.
No, we're still,
Yeah, you're fine.
Still on the tree,
Anyways, we're leaving him in.
tree commission at 14,625. Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion,
Wait, I missed that one.
14,625 tree
aye.
commission.
Aye.
Any
It was
opposed, say
Andy
nay.
and Anna.
Oh, no, I
Any
already got that.
abstentions?
Okay.
That, you get that, Michelle, 14,625?
I thought you were.
Okay, now Andy's gonna go out on the limb with Parks
Yep.
and Rec.
Park and Rec Commission, I'll make a motion for the 1620.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Okay,
I'll move 2,845 for assessment appeals.
Second.
Anna seconded that, Michelle. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed, say nay.
2845.
Thank you.
That passes.
Just like her.
Yeah, we
Like we
already
did.
did, Rich. Like, look at that, blowing down this page.
So the Board of Assessment Appeals doesn't need a lawyer, I guess, huh? That goes,
At the current time, we only have 4 people that have put in a request to have their, so you still have a few weeks to go, but 4. So, shh.
projects like we've done, down to
Land use.
flood and erosion.
Land use.
Land
Land
use.
use.
And use.
Flood and
I
erosion.
don't,
Only 4%.
land use is further down on the,
No, we already did all
We
these.
already did.
we already did all these?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we're
we
down
did.
to land use.
Yeah, we jumped around.
I'll make
We're
a
down to
motion
280.
for land use for 303, 271, just to get it on the table.
Second. Oh, go ahead, Brooke, it's Fred.
And let's pause for a minute. It's not up much, it's at percentage wise, 1.5%. But it's real money.
It's salaries.
Well, it's salaries.
Mhm.
Actually, the salaries are up more than that. It's that there were some reductions,
There was
kind of balanced it
So
out.
what's land use? Wages, is that,
Zerk now.
and what's land use salaries?
Those are the 2 part-time land use techs.
They're full.
They're full-time, sorry. We have Julian, Craig.
The support
And
staff.
so, and why are they, doesn't Eric get a salary?
Eric's on the salary
Eric's
line.
on the salary line. And then the wages are for the
hourly.
other people, they're hourly.
I thought it was.
And under Eric.
Yeah.
That was my
Okay.
question, if somebody's full-time, shouldn't have to stay on 1 month. That's 22.
Yeah, we don't understand why we put,
Well, are the 2 full-time people, are they paid hourly even though they're full-time?
Yeah, but it's still
Yeah.
full-time.
Yeah. So
No,
it's just,
nobody's exempt from wage and hour. They're all salaried. They're all-
They wouldn't be
Excuse me, they're all
exempt.
hour.
they're hourly.
have 2
They
that are
wouldn't be
hourly
exempt in
and one.
those
Yeah,
positions.
that's right.
So that's what's kind of separating them, I think,
In
is you got
it's either full-time
Eric's
or
exempt and they aren't.
part-time. Over here, we have many full-time clients in certain categories and then like 2 and 3 part-time.
I mean, to me, this makes sense that you're divvying out the salaries versus the hourlies.
Yeah. okay.
That makes sense to me.
And scroll down, folks, to postage. Postage is going up from a budget of $1,500 to an actual of $97 to a new budget of $3,000 and historical expenditures less than $700. Does anybody know why?
Well, they
Mine are
just-
doing, I gotta find it.
It's
Regulation revision.
Yeah,
Increase due
Oh,
to
it's
regulation
not-
revision. What?
Right, what it is, it's the new, they did the new books. And they're gonna be mailing all those out, all the, policies that we gave $100,000, all the policy updates, the manuals.
No,
Zoning.
we're revising the zoning code. I get that.
It's the mailing of
It
that.
has to be printed and mailed.
It's not the
Printed and
mailing of
mailed
the
to
books. It's not the mailing of the books, though.
And we're not gonna,
That was
We
talked
did-
about at the meeting we had.
They're just big.
It was
think you-
discussed upstairs at the Monday meeting we had, the first or second one,
what did you remember?
that it had to do with the regulations and who they had to distribute it to.
those books.
Well, but
I
let's
don't know
just,
if that there, I don't know if printing or postage is the
I
total
think he has
cost.
to develop, it has to go to just certain,
But when,
Or it has to be-
maybe my
Where's the
recollection is,
printing cost of
when
it?
we have
Probably to the
adopted
state.
new zoning regs, we gotta send them to a bunch of state departments.
and legal. And our legal department.
Well, I can understand printing being expensive, but 3,000 for postage?
Well, especially because there is no printing cost.
There's no printing cost.
Is
There
there?
is down the bottom, 1,500, which went down.
Jay,
Yeah, because they're using.
there's gonna be
now,
books
so
that are
it's-
heavier than that.
And that's gonna cost
Well,
only
that's too many
$1,500?
We shouldn't have that many.
3,000.
No, the
How many of them
printing,
are there? I'll drop-
is-
Now you're sketching. I was on postage.
I know, but I'm
They're
trying to
returning
combine this
it.
together because something doesn't make,
I will tell-
CCM is been doing our printing and Mark Webb got them and they give us fantastic costs. They're truly great. But he did mention that he has to send it to the state because the state is all paper. So the state will not take an electronic copy and it's the sending them to the
Just wanted to put in a
state
drawer.
that's going to cost.
And you gotta probably send them to 3 or 4 departments in the state. But I will say this,
$3,000 seems like a
CCM
lot.
is
Does seem like
saved
a
us.
lot.
I'll write to Hartford.
So when a town makes an update, okay, which doesn't happen that often, okay,
No, we're not doing the
and you're
schedule.
sending the whole thing?
You have to.
Yes.
It's sort of like,
Wow,
so he says it's 30 to 40 copies.
right,
So it's gonna cost double the postage, double the amount of money to print whatever this is, whatever. I guess it's just what it is.
and he actually did, I think he got a quote already from CCM. And he called them and explained what he needed and they gave him a basic overview code, so.
Do they
be cheaper to,
tip it as well?
cheaper to send somebody up and buy them lunch
You
or
should
dinner up
buy it,
there, for
tell
God's
us.
sakes. No, it's
We-
expensive.
We have hired a contractor to help us do the zoning revisions.
Right.
What line item captures that?
It's in capital.
It's in
It's
capital,
in capital?
Capital?
Okay,
We're going on to the second phase at this point in time.
okay. All right, so I mean, the budget isn't up. That isn't up much by a dollar amount or a percentage. We got 303,271.
Can I just ask again? So back to this printing cost, he does have something that costs $1,000 to print every year. What is that? And does he have enough in here to print this extra stuff?
Well, he didn't use anything in 24, 25. He's 0. He had 1,100, didn't spend a dime.
But
2,000
before that, he had
and
Yeah,
so.
because-
800,
and so
1,000.
far-
The quote from CCM.
Well, no, I'm just wondering
Yeah.
what it is.
History.
History.
It's the new regulations,
The quote for this,
30 to 40 copies of the new regulations out in the notes on the
No,
front.
I just want to make sure he doesn't have whatever he's been printing the previous years not included, because his printing cost actually went down.
And the reason for that was CCM.
Okay. Okay.
Where it's being printed.
And I feel
But-
like last year he talked about having it printed, so that $2,000 number, like,
I think they're gonna do some, hopefully would do some this year. I mean,
Okay.
I don't know because they're not sure. They're not a little off schedule. They're like 2 months behind on their rewrite. But
so we could potentially be carrying over
2,
from this
We
year.
usually don't carry.
I-
and you
Well,
can't,
if it's printing of a specific thing.
Just to beat a dead horse, if he's gonna, he said he wants to print 30 to 40, the town of Old Lyme needs a bunch, right? So if he's gonna send out 30 for $3,000.
you need all your zoning people. to-
Well, whatever, if he's gonna ship out 30, that's $100 each.
I don't think he's sending out a 30. He's not sending out 30. He's printing 30.
I understand, but he's got $3,000 worth of postage, right?
yeah,
So $3,000 to send out less than 30 copies is more than $100 per set, and Federal Express or.
They probably
UPS,
have,
yeah,
they
would-
probably have to go certified mail. They have to be received so that you know that you're following this.
$100,
I don't know.
That sounds hungry.
yeah,
And
but it's, you know, if it's not spent, it won't be spent.
Right.
It's a $1,500 increase over his prior postage budget. Not that he spent the 50,
Which he never spent.
which he spent 664 and, you know,
No, 855 back in 21.
so.
Well, let's-
And postage has certainly gone up since then, but, you know, it's,
But you and I can deliver them.
we'll go for a ride.
I've never seen the State House. I'll drive around.
There we go.
Just buy me lunch.
Any
cheaper.
other comments or questions or discussion on this 303?
You're gonna route mileage, then the mileage budget will go up.
Motion, somebody?
Andy and Fred already.
The motion.
We already made them? Okay.
We were just.
No further discussion? All in favor of the 303-271, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay.
View. Mhm.
Cleaning went up for the porta potties, other lines went down. Contracted services,
Speed humps.
putting the speed humps, they wanna put them in, install and remove. They'll have, the reason it's going up is because they bought more speed humps for next year, so that's why.
What's the new line, Martha? The last line? Sound view repairs, maintenance, operations, just kind of a general. If
Yeah.
a sign gets broken,
Landscape, miscellaneous, it's
It looks like a
signage.
new line.
yeah, it's a new line
Yeah.
under golf carts.
There's some detail, yeah.
But he was paying his landscaper out of contracted services. Cause he uses Jones Landscaping and they were coming under there. So why is he putting this under? And why isn't it just under contracted services? It doesn't need to be a new line.
Well,
I don't see
I
why.
I remember him talking about the signage that, you know, they had some new signs made and I don't know what happened to them. They
That's right,
disappeared at the end of the
yeah.
year and,
Yeah.
so we may have to have some redone.
Okay, but that's
That's
a,
part of the $6,000.
right, but that's a contracted service. You're going out to have a printing company make the signs.
Right.
You're contracting with somebody to make signs.
Well, everything's a contract.
But landscaping
I would think of
should come under.
Services as services, not the manufacturer or purchase of
But he's,
an item.
he's mixing landscaping with signage. I mean, it's a little
Right.
bit of a,
Right.
It's a not, signage should be under something else. It should be under printing.
right.
So whatever his printing is should go under whatever his signage is, should go under printing. His,
Do you want to hold this one until this is fixed, or do you want us to vote on the total and then you guys can fix?
Yeah, I can.
I
Just-
I would like to talk to him because he never came before. Well,
He was
he was
on the snowstorm.
But he also, his budget arrived literally like 3.5 days before that. So it was a put together quick because he forgot to get it into us. So I would like to have another conversation with him.
Okay.
Okay, mostly regarding that $6,000 expense.
All right, push
Okay.
2 weeks.
I'm trying to figure, are people just taking the signs home as souvenirs? I couldn't understand what he was saying there. Versus they'd all go in a shed and the next year.
I think to me, it sounded like Public Works took them down for them and they disappeared out of Public Works.
They were like these little flags that hang off the pole and they had different seascape things and said Sound View
Okay.
and they disappeared. It was done when they did the sidewalks and everything, the beautification. They were there and then they weren't.
Sometimes those have to get replaced. Maybe somebody saw them at Public Works and thought they were too faded and they were there to be disposed of.
Yeah.
Sometimes Ed does make those decisions.
I mean, I feel like Ed might make those decisions.
But I think too, part of that, like the repairs and things like that, I'd like to know what he's doing because Public Works can do some of these things for him.
No, that's good.
We don't need.
Conservation Commission is down $2.
I will
I'll make a
move.
I'll second.
Oh, yeah, 7,000. Yep,
Moved, Andy seconded
there you go.
for 71.95. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. And the abstentions.
Ooh,
Okay.
lots of notes on open space.
I'll make
Love
a
it.
motion for open space, $1,380.
No, you wish it was that much.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Add-
got all
add-
excited
add two to
there.
that.
Keep going.
It's still good.
Greg
Just add
was
it
very
to.
thorough
21
with his notes.
21,380.
I'll second.
It's down, yeah. 21,380 has been moved and seconded for open space. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Road and public safety.
Mhm.
Oh, boy, they're
Um,
doubling themselves.
Which neighborhood is it? For the speed humps?
Yeah, they want to put in speed humps. That hasn't been approved by the police or the fire department yet.
Where? Where would that be?
It was a request by a neighborhood and one of them was, I know, was Brighton Road. Going
That-
down.
And I know years ago, some of the beach communities had speed humps that damaged one of the town plow trucks.
These would be the removable ones like they have at Hartford
But
Ave.
still, they're
We put them in a community, was a board on.
That cost us $6,000 a year to put them.
Pros
in
and
and
cons.
take them
Is
out.
it a high?
For the number at Soundview, because you've got 3 streets. This is 1 street. And they're asking for, so the figure includes, how many, I think that they were only figuring 2 speed humps going down. It's a narrower street than Hartford, so they don't need, but they'd like to put 1 in.
well, I guess I think we ought to approve the budget, but then urge the Board of Selectmen to be sensible in what you approve that they do.
Well, they have to still, you have to understand that when we started to get budget figures, we didn't have a resident state trooper that was actually assigned to us at the point in time. So they need to sit down with Derek, and actually Derek went to their meeting tonight. So they'll have some conversations, but they need to
Okay,
meet.
And they haven't spent their 1,000 from this year.
That's to buy the speed humps.
And this is, so the 2,800 just includes installing and taking them out.
And also
This other stuff, yeah.
$800 to purchase or build 2 small trailers, because those speed camera signs that we have on poles, John Evans from Lime came down and said to us, if you put them on a trailer, you don't have to do all the major mounting stuff that you have to do, and you can move them around town more easily. So John built one for Lime, and then they went out and bought one. So he said, you can get them for they're just a small trailer. They put them on. He sent me pictures. I mean, Dominic went up and took pictures for me so I could see. So that's what they wanted to do, so that we could move those signs around more easily.
is this
It takes-
committee talking about being authorized to impose, to have the speed cameras not be advisory, but enforceable by issuing fines for speeders?
They're still discussing that. They have not made a recommendation to the Board of Selectmen yet. They've interviewed 3 different companies, and then when we were at the CCM conference in December, Jim was off and was approached by another company. So that company has reached out to Greg Fatoma, who's the chair of this
Mhm.
committee. And so Greg's in conversation with them. They've not made any recommendations to us. They know it's a hot ticket item. People are not everybody's going to be excited about that. So they have not made any recommendations.
Right,
But right now,
Wrote a really nice opinion piece in the Examiner about that process,
pro or con.
just explaining how it would work.
Yeah, and you have to get authorization from the state before you can do it, if you want to do
you
it.
do have to go through a lot of data that you have to provide to them.
Everybody should be against it because we want to be able to speed and not get fined for it. But if we want to take
The
our,
revenues that you bring in.
well,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I paid Middletown $50 for their speed camera on Route 66 this past, if you're going from Middletown to Meriden,
Mhm.
they've got them going up the hill.
I was in Washington
What-
DC a year
and
or
what do
so
you think?
ago, and I got a ticket. I got two tickets that were about 200 yards apart.
Sure, you look
I
great.
didn't know it until I.
That's a
looked
good
at my
question. Did it
wrist.
slow, does it slow you down?
I didn't know it. I didn't.
I got one in
they were
DC and I had
invisible.
no
I didn't know
idea
I
that it was
going
even
by
there.
it.
Yeah, I didn't know this one was there.
But now that you do,
Now that I do, and the next time I went through, there is signage that was probably there.
Mhm.
The first time I went through, but it's on Route 66
Yeah,
and the
there's
speed limit
so-
is like
and there's
35 miles an hour.
million signs.
That, you know, it's a 4-lane road.
Yep.
That, and it was $50 plus an $8 fee to the company. And I read the article in the paper. This was back in October. At that point, Middletown had put them in July 1st. They generated $250,000
I'm $50 fine.
and $50 tickets on Route 66, which is a state road, which I found kind of odd.
Yeah, I was gonna
that
say, would that would,
Middletown is getting the money from a state road.
Huh.
And the second time it's 75, and the third time, I think it's 200.
But you're not going for those two. You've slowed
I
down.
stayed with the 50 so far. They sent you a nice picture of your car.
Well, and I think that's the other piece people are concerned about is who's getting the data on where you're driving?
Yeah.
What is the company doing with that?
So there is, and I did sit through 2 presentations, but there basically is a appeal process, which pretty much is like what we do with our parking violations down at the beach, but the chief of police sits and listens to the appeals that have come in and yay or nay.
Their process was via email and they never responded. So I sent my, you know, I sent my $58 in and their claim is it doesn't go against your insurance or points on your license.
Right.
Okay. I guess that's good, but who knows if that'll change. So I just, you know, we're talking economic development and we're making it, you know, a friendly town. Yeah, we don't want people getting run over, but I don't know.
I mean, I also think it's kind of funny, like, there's a lot of people that don't like the people that speed, but then you see people commenting on people going the speed limit on Facebook.
Yeah.
Why are these people going so slow? I'm like, well, because it's a 30 mile an hour zone by
I mean-
Teddy's. It's so freaking slow.
Curry's 25.
Exactly. Like, I'm
That's lower-
sorry.
That's lower than Mile Creek.
Well, but-
It's
but
so
you know, but-
Mile Creek's
slow.
30, which
If you raise that to 30 or 35, what's gonna happen?
Great.
And they do 40,
People-
45.
Yeah.
We're already going. I don't think anybody pays
I drive
attention.
I don't
10
make a bit of
miles and
difference.
9
But-
miles over the speed limit.
I think
will
we
tell
can't
you,
solve that in
cam-
here.
That camera on McCurdy, I come around that corner and when if I see that red light, that yellow
It's
light
too late.
pop up,
I get honked at when I go slow on the guy behind me.
Yeah, because they're on you. You're like, I'm
All right, so what do
sorry.
we do with the 4180?
What do you want us to do? Do you want us to not do it? Because if they're not gonna if they don't have this money for the speed bumps to put them in and they haven't bought them yet,
No,
maybe
they
we
do.
leave a little money in that column so that we can allocate it later if
I
you
may
guys
be
decide.
remembering this wrong, but I feel like when we initially talked about these removable speed humps, Public Works was gonna put them in and take them out.
well, we have somebody who does it. We contracted somebody down. Frank Papalardo has
Right.
someone down at Soundview
Okay.
who used to work with DOJ and he
Uh-huh.
puts them in and out.
Okay. Cause I feel
I
like
don't-
our
they'd have
initial
to-
discussion with them was it was just the purchase of them and then Public Works was gonna put them in and take them out.
Somebody would have to guide them just so that it's done correctly, because you've got to fill in the plugs correctly in the winter or else you have a problem.
Yeah,
Okay, and Ed's very proud of his roads,
they're a nightmare.
so.
And wasn't there a concern that the fire trucks and the ambulance don't appreciate these things?
they don't.
They don't.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
maybe this needs a deeper discussion before we
they-
allocate.
Well, we talked about it, but they do handle the ones on Hartford Ave. And fire trucks do. Swan, Portland, and Hartford all have them. And I have to say, the people have collected data on Brighton, and it's the summer months, it's insane. And even
What if they put up some of those fences instead, where you have to like
it's
drive
28.
slow
Yeah.
around the fences?
so in a private, I love what Point of Woods does,
Yeah.
because that's exactly what they do, but I don't think we are allowed to do that
Yeah.
on we can't do it because we're not a private, it's not a private association. that road is a town road.
Yeah.
So I don't think we can put them up, but I've suggested the same thing. Like, why couldn't we put something like that up? But it's a straightaway. It's a straightaway. And the kids, and they complain about some of the adults that leave the club, the beach club at night and come back, and
Well,
residential area.
they haven't decided what they want to do. They just asked, please give us the authorization to spend $2,800. And presumably they'll make a recommendation if and when they figure that out
Right.
to the Board of Selectmen, and the Board of Selectmen will say that's a good idea or it's not. So I
Or
mean,
they,
I would.
that's appropriate, or we don't give them the money and they come back and they make their request with data and we can appropriate the money. It's not like we're
'Cause it's
talking
not-
$30,000 or
yeah.
$40,000.
it's fine.
We're talking about an amount that
That's,
we could, as a Board of Finance, approve after the Board of
well, I
Selectmen.
would ask that you keep
Resident
the, I
Trooper.
would ask that you keep the 800 in for the little trailers, because that would
Okay.
make it easier for
Perfect.
Public Works
fine.
and the police department moving those things. We're gonna take 2,000 out of that line, bottom line, and just make it 800. And then tell Greg when he gets his plan, he can do that.
I'll move $3,180.
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Any abstention? That passes. Okay, so come back to the plan and we'll give you.
Are they part of a particular beach association? Are they part of White Sands Beach Association?
Oh, yeah.
Brighton Road? So they're just their own thing?
This is pretty straightforward.
That's in the budget book,
Well, I
right?
know, but if they're part of, if they were part of White Sands, at least you could suggest maybe they, some of the security money that White Sands
I think they are.
spends
Debt
Could
service
be-
215.
offered down there.
Mhm.
Okay, we gotta go to a book.
I'll make a motion for
$215.
$544,000 for debt service and debt service for principal and interest.
Right, and if you see in the notes, we will be paying $139,400 will be coming out of the senior center fund. 33 is from the leftover money, it's bond for the 8 or 3 years of the interest on the new bond. So that money will come out of the leftover money.
So Andy, what number did you move?
544. Is
544.
544. Okay. Any discussion?
there a second on that?
On a second.
Thank you.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? That passes. Then before we go to lengthy public comment, we have to approve the February 3rd meeting minutes.
Do we have them?
Yeah, they were emailed,
Emailed.
and then there's also hard copies floating around.
That was all.
So- I was not here. I was absent. I wasn't on the phone.
So you just move Andy, Michelle from present by phone to absent.
Yep.
Again, with the merits.
Yep.
A couple names crept into some of the options on page 4.
Okay.
We go to page 4, the flow grizz. Motion made by Mr. Russell, seconded by Mr. Olson.
And Fred,
Wow.
can you just wait till Michelle pulls up her copy so she
Oh,
can make her
sorry.
corrections?
And
Mhm.
You need a copy of it?
Yes.
Do you want a hard copy?
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Page 4, I'm sorry, what was
On
it?
page 4.
Yep.
The flow grizz motions. I don't know who made them. I
Oh, yeah.
can't tell you who it was, but
It wasn't me, it wasn't Matt, because Matt's no longer on the board.
Let's see, which one was this? This was.
The flow grid, Andy wasn't here and Mr. Olson is our facilities director, so.
No.
That was Matt Olson.
That's Matt.
Olson, who was not reelected.
Son.
Oh, the old battles. And,
Yeah.
in any event, we've got a, yeah,
What number was it?
well, it's on page 4.
Page
Four,
Just trying to figure
7,003.
out if I had it in my notes.
Yeah, I just checked it off that we approved it and the date.
It's Kelsey and Anna.
Okay.
Dave Kelsey and
And then-
16022. Right?
Mhm.
And then
So you got that, and then the next one down. I was not seated at the meeting, so,
And I wasn't here.
and Andy wasn't here, so it's another one.
Lime Art Association. Must have been from last year.
Mhm.
Right. Okay, thank you.
So do we, if nobody remembered, do we want to ask
Oh,
Michelle to
Michelle
listen
has
to the
it.
tape?
She has it,
She has it.
Oh,
just didn't get in there. Wait, right.
For Lime Art Association, Kelsey and Anna again, for 9,500.
Yeah, and I guess got the right numbers.
You're there.
And then did we get the right number for
Yeah.
Flowgris?
oh, you wrote them down?
I wrote everybody
Good for you.
down.
So, Anna has them. What do you have for Flo Grizz?
So Grizz was
Sure.
Dave and I, and then Lime Art Association was also Dave and I.
She got that.
Yep.
She has it in her notes.
Okay.
So Kelsey and Ryder for both of those.
It's yours.
No, yeah, yeah.
No, is that yours?
Yeah.
I don't know if this is Fred. This is yours, that's Fred's. I'm just trying to pack up the stuff that didn't get handed out. So I can give them to.
This is my stuff here.
Any other
It's all
comments or changes?
I have one more suggestion for a change on the first page. Bottom. Just to add that, the 1999 is requested amount to complete the White Sand Beach Pavilion. I'd say engineering. Add engineering. Just to make it clear, it's for the engineering.
Oh, I don't think it is. I think it's for construction.
You wish.
Huh? No, it's a 19 additional amount.
It was in addition to what we already gave, the 100 and whatever we already gave them.
But to complete.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take it back.
So it's,
Scratch that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Then let me, I'll ask for a motion to approve the minutes as amended.
So moved.
Second,
Second,
and on the second, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed, say nay. Any abstentions?
I'll abstain.
Andy abstains, Michelle.
Mhm.
That does it. Thank you, folks.
You need a motion.
Motion to adjourn
Go ahead. Move away.
and move. And leave.
second.
9:53 adjournment.
Woo.